office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast office products.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. If you missed the show, you can always check it out on demand at 1045ESPN.com, the 1045 ESPN app, or the After Further Review YouTube channel. AFR On Demand, brought to you by Breck Golf. Book your tee time today at golf.breck.org.
Whether you run a large business or lead a growing enterprise, the knowledgeable bankers over at Gulf Coast Bank and Trust know that our local economy relies on your success. With a history of success, Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is dedicated to helping their clients' businesses grow, seize opportunities, and make our community a better place that we all share. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, a trusted banking partner by business leaders who expect more. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. here on Thursday, January 16th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect cloudy skies with a high of 64. In hour one of today's show, we'll talk about the latest with the New Orleans Saints head coaching search and the latest edition of the Palmer Portal Player Profile for LSU football. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let's go, baby, let's go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Now, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yo! What's happening, everyone? January 16, 2025. It is Thursday, and I hope you are having a great day, as are going to have a great day. The weekend's almost here. We got a lot of great sports lined up for said weekend, a lot to get to today. So youtube.com/1045ESPN. If you want to come hang out live and hop by for a YouTube chat, get your takes in there. It's always a great place to do so. If you want to catch us on demand, we have OTB Saints YouTube, OTB LSU YouTube, and even individual podcast feeds, right? I mean, you search OTB LSU, you'll get just the LSU podcast. Same thing for Saints. And then if you want the whole show, just OTB. So a lot different ways with which to come join us. Jake, what's up, man? How we doing today?
I'm doing great. We have the grand opening at Elite a little bit later on, so you'll be there. Very excited about that. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to be there. Tyron Matthews is going to be there. So the whole group's going to be together for the first time in a long time, and we've kind of been open. The indoor space has been open, then the outdoor fields got open, but now like the totality of the thing is finally kind of complete, and Oshner obviously being on site as well. So finally here, excited about it, and glad you get to be there with us as well. Yeah,
it's going to be a great time. I'm excited to check it out. And
have you been yet?
I have not been yet.
Oh, wow.
Yes, this will be my first time.
Right.
I'm looking forward to it.
Alondra, Tete, you are more than welcome to come. I'm sure y'all have got like one of the 7 jobs y'all do here, but
so one of my 7 jobs is actually going to Elite, so I'll be there as well.
There we go.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah, Tete, do you have the 7th job, or just gonna drink energy drinks here?
Probably energy drinks here. No, probably will not be there.
See the excuse, like trying to build in the head.
To sit in his office and pretend like he's doing something useful all day.
That's fair.
It's true.
But that's it's the best way to stay paid, right? You gotta show face. So he can't be leaving and go fart around at Elite,
right?
When he's got to be sitting here showing that he's working.
Yeah. Every time Matt comes up the stairs, if he sees Tay at his desk, he thinks he's working.
So I'm saying it's a heady play.
Although he's just on Tiger.
Just good office strategy.
Yeah. I got T-Bob was there yesterday. So T-Bob's in the bathroom, and Musso was talking about how Moscona was leading with basketball or something. I was like, hey, I did the game. Do I need to send you the highlights? Like, I can email them to you. He's like, yeah, that'd be great. And T-Bob comes out the bathroom. He goes, Taylor, you just randomly talking? I was like,
I thought you were taking for okay.
No,
you got
I was
lucky.
like, I was asking
you were doing
Musa
work for once
if he needed the basketball highlights. And T-Bob just pauses for a second. He goes, yeah. I'm just kind of walking around until I got to go pick my kid up. And then just turned around and walked away. That was the whole conversation.
So I ended up using that time to dive into an Ohio State conspiracy wormhole about how Ohio State is secretly funded by one of Jeffrey Epstein's closest associates.
Okay.
Which led me into a Billionaires in college football wormhole. So we've got some really interesting hour 2 information coming up on money, the Buckeyes, and college football in general. Alondra,
I did forget that Taylor couldn't take.
What do you mean? Oh, yeah, for the rest of the week?
Rest of the week.
Why did we ban him? I can't remember.
You said, well, somebody said something
Wait,
about somebody said something
is it
about
the rest of the week or is it today?
I thought it was just today.
I think it's just today. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we were like somebody asked about truth or dare. Are you more of a truth? Are you more of a dare?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll rescind my dare though, because I enjoy Taylor's tapes.
Well, and then T-Bob has to rescind it because
whatever they're worth.
T-Bob's was he couldn't interrupt Jake for the whole day.
Yeah. And
Alondra couldn't bring up conspiracy theories. Jake couldn't say grit.
I chose truth, though.
I couldn't say anything. So,
Alondra, what's up, though? How you doing today?
Doing good. I'm now excited to be at Elite. I wasn't at first, I'm not going to lie, just because I don't want to do, like, some work.
Yeah.
But
the crew will be there.
The whole
now.
crew's going to be there.
So now I'm
except for Taylor.
excited.
So it's even better.
Like I said, the whole
and you
crew's going
said
to be
the Honey
there.
Badger was going to be there, so
Addition by subtraction.
yeah.
Tay, you're doing well today?
Makes it better that he won't
yeah, I'm
be
doing
there.
great. In a good mood.
I heard only a 1% chance that Deion becomes a Cowboys head coach.
Wait,
It
what
looks
were
like
the
you're-
odds you sent him last night?
He had the
Jake?
best odds, though.
Did he really?
Yeah, I sent it in
get
the group last night.
Think about who makes these odds, though. The minute Mike McCarthy was fired, that's all we heard. I don't care if he's the betting favorite. Again, this has nothing to do with my personal opinions on Deion. I don't think him and Jerry could coexist. It's too big of personalities. Jerry wants the attention to be on himself. It would be on Deion. I don't think Jerry's going to do it.
It's a good warm-up take from you right there. Proud of you. I feel like I'm doing a little 3-man weave, getting ready to crank this thing up. All right, let's go ahead and tip it off and get this show started.
It's time to get to work, courtesy of Tiger Labor and Staffing, where they can help take care of screening, training, payroll, and more. Now, for starters.
You go to Tiger Labor and Staffing today for all of your staffing solutions. Whether you are talking short-term, long-term, we've got you covered with skilled, dependable workers. Remember, we're locally owned and operated and proud to serve Baton Rouge with fast, flexible service. Never forget, we're not just forwarding resumes to you, but interviewing and dispatching in person every single morning at 5 a.m. Go to Tiger Labor and Staffing. So the New Orleans Saints coaching search kind of oozing right along. We mentioned some of the elements that I'm about to bring up yesterday but it has become apparently clear that regardless of where Aaron Glenn falls on the New Orleans Saints wish list, which a lot of reports are the top, definitely near the top. If he's not candidate 1, maybe candidate 2. Now that Mike McCarthy's entered the fray, I've seen a lot of people bump him up to the top of the Saints wish list. But is that also because Aaron Glenn, according to the New York Post, is telling people that his number one job, and that he told the New York Jets this, that if he was offered, his number one spot would be New York. And I don't think that's hard to see why, right? I mean, he played at New York, so it's returning home. It's New York. I mean, that is a job that is intimidating because of how big and intense it is. But for a competitor, I think it's also alluring because of how big and intense it is. And especially as a player, he already knows the market. And, I mean, objectively, I think the Jets have better pieces. I think the only thing that, because what we're about to get into is maybe how old the Saints are right now. But I think the only thing that the Saints would have over the Jets, I would still argue a more stable ownership situation. Because as we know, the Jets are kind of like a 3-ring circus. Like the Saints may be inept, but not a joke. Having a punchline in the same way that the New York Jets had. But with Aaron Glenn, obviously that lone advantage for the New Orleans Saints, not enough for him to make the Saints his number one choice. So I don't think Aaron Glenn will be the next head coach of the New Orleans Saints. Yesterday we talked about Mike McCarthy, and certainly more intriguing than I thought it was going to be after talking to Matt Flynn. But you got to look at what are you taking over? And there's a line in Force Awakens. And Kylo Ren says to this guy that, felt like it was going to mean something one day and never did. But he looked at him and he said, "Look how old you've become." And that's how I kind of feel looking at the New Orleans Saints roster. Ross Jackson had a really good write-up on this on LouisianaSports.net. But here are 5 cap hits for players currently over the age of 32, Jake. Derek Carr is a $51.5 million cap hit. Cam Jordan, $20 million. Taysom Hill, $18 million. Demario Davis, $12.4. Tyrann Mathieu, $11.3. That's $113 million in 5 players over the age of 32. It actually goes up to 125 when you add in Ryan Ramchick's contract, having whatever money he was deferred and now owed. Yeah. So it's actually going to be 125 tied up in 6, but really just 5 because Ramchick's not playing, in 5 players this season. That is 46.5% of the cap in 5 players. And I'm sure that allocation is representative of other teams, right? You have to pay your best players. I'm sure most teams have 5 players, accounted 50%, and everybody else gets whatever. But I also assume that most teams probably feel a bit better about the 5. I mean, when you look at that, the highest paid guy you don't believe in at all, Derek Carr. Cam Jordan you love dearly, but the productivity objectively has gone down. Now, I'm okay with paying Cam because he was underpaid for so long. Taysom Hill's great when he's available.
Right.
Demario Davis, I have nothing to say about. It looked like maybe he was slipping for some this year, and then I thought he recovered nicely. I mean, I still think Demario Davis is awesome. And then Tyrann's okay. I mean, yeah, Tyrann's still very solid as well. But it's still not a 5 that inspires a lot of confidence, Jake, if you are a coach coming outside looking in and looking at, okay, where are we at? Where are we allocating our resources? What's the lay of the land like?
No, it's not. I mean, all those guys are aging, and even if they're playing well, and some of them are playing still certainly good enough to be considered quality starting football players in the NFL, but you're talking about Derek Carr, who nobody has faith in being, almost 3 times as much as anybody else right now. That can't happen. Taysom Hill is great when he is available. You're right. It's just not often that he is available. He's going to make $18 million, and I love his style of play. But if you play that style of play, you've got to stay healthy. You have to have a body type that can handle everything that he does between the tight end, the fullback, the quarterback, the receiver, all that kind of stuff. And so you look at this list, and it doesn't inspire you for the future if you're someone looking at this job and you have multiple other options. And that's why, the McCarthy piece is interesting because although he does have other options, he does have a tie to the Saints being here as an assistant. Mickey Loomis did mention that it was somebody that he had a personal relationship with as well a couple of weeks ago.
When was McCarthy here as an assistant? I missed this.
Early Jeff Blake, so early 2000s.
Wow. Okay. Hell yeah. So pre-Katrina.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy. Okay. McCarthy been in the game for a long time.
I guess Hasler would have been the head coach when he was there.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry, continue.
So that's going to be something you have to pay attention to whenever you're looking at, Joe Brady's been here before, so he's got a relationship, and so you do have somewhat of an advantage there, but it's going to take that, because if you don't have a tie to the New Orleans Saints, right now you look at this and you're like, man, how do we bring in good players? How do we bring in people that are going to help us change the narrative there on that franchise? And so I think it does kind of handcuff you a little bit as far as who is willing to come to New Orleans to take that over.
And, I mean, you look at Mickey Loomis, and this is a credit to him because I would not guess this given how spry and energetic he appears. Mickey Loomis is 68 years old, though. So he himself is getting to an age where just realistically you probably don't get to make another one of these decisions. This is probably your last opportunity to try to get it right and really add it into the pressure of just the normal immense amount of pressure that comes into being an NFL general manager is the fact that you're kind of in a young man's game. Everywhere you look around you, all the other decision makers, or the vast majority of them in the NFL, are younger than you. And you are trying to prove that you're just as good as them. And in your last opportunity, you failed mightily. Again, I just keep going back to the Crassus thing. Without Julius, without Pompey, you're trying to prove that, no, you were just as responsible for the golden era as those other two guys, Sean Payton and Drew Brees, and you have not been able to even come close to that thus far. And this is your last opportunity to do so. You have to get this right. Is that McCarthy? Maybe so. Can any coach get it right, though, with the state of the current roster? I mean, it's a dark, it's a very tenuous time.
So
a lot on the line.
When you get into that situation, T, and you kind of know, hey, this is maybe my last opportunity, I'm not going to have another one. It's like, okay, well, you got kind of two choices. Do I go left and go with another, what he considers to be a safe play? Because I believe that's what he thought Dennis Allen was. I would wholeheartedly disagree with that. But do I go play with the safe play with somebody that is willing to come here because they don't have many opportunities? Or do I go and veer right, and do I go to the young up-and-coming coach? Do I go somebody that's a little bit more exciting, somebody that has maybe a higher ceiling?
You're putting McCarthy in the safe play category there.
I think I would, just because he was the OC for 4 seasons in New Orleans, and so you kind of know him. And, again, it's not to say that wouldn't work out. Matt laid out some incredible – Flynn.
Yeah.
Not Moscona. Laid out some incredible, things yesterday, being a player for him, knowing who he was. And – maybe you're biased a little bit there, but I think he laid out a pretty good plan.
That's always interesting because, yes, there's bias, but there's also
he played
unparalleled
insight. Matt played for 4, 5, 6 head coaches in the NFL.
Yeah.
So
it's unparalleled insight because nobody else here played for Mike McCarthy for multiple years.
Right.
So he still has a better platform with which to take.
And so, although he would be a little bit of a safer play, I do think that his ceiling with the Saints could be higher than some of the other guys that maybe he would bring in. But if you want to veer right and go to something that's a little bit unknown, it's like the mystery box that we talked about yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's where you're at. When you have one more, how do you want to play it? Do you want to try to play it safe and try to go, 9-8, 10-7, and that's what your ceiling's going to be? But maybe it's not going to completely fall off, and maybe we're not going to win 3 games. Or do you want to veer right and try to win 14 games, or maybe you win 2?
Yeah, and it's fascinating that Mike McCarthy actually has objectively essentially the same, but if you wanted to really argue nitty-gritty, slightly better resumes than that of Mike Tomlin and Sean Payton. So you have an aging roster, an aging GM, and you got one final shot. Do you go with an aging coach like Mike McCarthy, or, as Jake said, do you take the gamble, the mystery box, and try to go with a young up-and-comer? I don't know what the choice will be. What I do know is that it'll be the choice that defines Mickey Loomis's legacy here in New Orleans. All right, when we get back here on Off the Bench, we got some Pertl Combat Cable Locks right here on OTB.
Off the Bench.
Go to Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding, GEAUX, Tommy's.com, GEAUX, Tommy's.com. You need hardy plank of vinyl siding, wood or vinyl windows. You want energy-efficient vinyl and windows, okay? Because of this energy efficiency, the heat stays in the winter, the cold stays in your home in the summer. What that means is that you save money on bills. So what that means is that over time, these are literal investments in your home that pay for themselves. And speaking of over time, they come with lifetime warranties because that's how confident it is. That's how much Tommy's stands by their work. So you need reliable window installation right here where you're going to see the difference clearly. Go with Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding.
Go to the website, gotommys.com, like T-Bob gave you there, and you can check out what they can do for you because you can see what they've done already for your neighbors here in the greater Baton Rouge area. But we always tell you, because it is factual, if you're looking for a custom job, if you're looking for something that is unique to you, they can come in. They're going to get that done as well. Go to the website, gotommys.com.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. service Chevrolet Cadillac. Our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206.
Welcome in to the best morning sports-ish show around. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Oh, I haven't talked about it yet because I don't want to spoil anything and because I don't think anybody else in the room is watching it, but Skeleton Crew, a new show that I've been loving with my family, a new Star Wars show, wrapped up on Tuesday, and my God, it's good, guys.
Jude Law
freaking kills it. You know how you get a megastar, and not all megastars can act that well, right? I mean, there are some, right, that's not completely fair, but not all megastars, maybe I feel, always can act up to their level of fame.
Okay.
But Jude Law's definitely a megastar, right? And so anytime you get a megastar in a TV show, it's interesting to see how they're going to perform. And my God, this last episode, like, all the chops were on display. You can see why this guy's first team All-Pro. Just absolutely nailed it. The whole show perfectly executes on this kind of Spielberg, Star Wars, Goonies, Pirates of the Caribbean, Indiana Jones vibe it's going for. Absolutely. I love it so much. I went on this podcast, Rule the Galaxy, last night. It's actually Joey Molinaro's dad.
Yeah.
Joe. I went on it for the first time on episode 4 5 years ago. And I've been going on, through the years since. But we ended up talking for 2 hours last night. So if you really want to go deep on some Star Wars, go check out the latest episode of the Rule the Galaxy podcast.
2 hours.
2 hours, 8 to 10 p.m. last night. Just taking on Star Wars and absolutely loving it, dude. Had the best time. Drink a few beers, some new, I don't know. Drink a few beers.
Beers were had.
Yes, yeah. I was going to name beer, but then all I care about is cold Coors Light.
That's right.
You know, Vizzy,
That
Hard
was a good
Seltzer, and Blue
catch
Moon Lights.
there, because you were drinking Coors Light,
And
obviously.
Vizzy, I was actually just drinking Vizzy Hard Seltzers.
Okay, there you go.
I had a few Vizzies.
Okay.
You know? But yeah, I don't think any of y'all are going to watch it, so it doesn't matter. But for anybody listening, I do feel passionately about the show that it gets 2 thumbs up, full recommendation.
Is it something that I need to know the world?
No, absolutely not. It's one of the best parts about it. It exists.
I watched Obi-Wan for you.
It's completely Obi-Wan was all right. Obi-Wan had really high highs. Really,
Yeah, but you told me I didn't have
as well.
to know a lot, and I didn't. So I went in, I watched. It was good.
Obi-Wan's interesting because that show, though, absolutely gets strengthened if you know a lot. This show truly exists independently of anything. It is
McGregor
just
and Jude Law kind of have a similar look to me as well.
This is just though, yeah, but it's not McGregor. That's Obi-Wan, right? Like this Jude Law character is bespoke. This is completely new. He's not tied into anything else. Like McGregor's taking on the mantle of Alec Guinness when he first does that. So whatever, Skelter, you don't need to know anything. It's completely independent, which I said is good. I don't even care if there's season 2. I don't want them to tie it into anything really. Like just I like something good being made and just existing, and that's exactly what this is. So if you're thinking about watching with your kids, man, all the episodes are out now. I definitely say it's a great watch if you're a fan, or if you like Spielberg stuff, like 80s Spielberg stuff, or if you're looking for something to do with the family. Like you and the boys could have a great time watching it if they haven't already.
I was about to say, that's the thing. Like now it's so easy for people to watch different things on different streaming services, and they've got it on their Xboxes and different things. It's, hey, you want to watch whatever? I watched that 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It just came out 3 weeks ago. It's like, yeah, I watched it that night. It's like,
alas, the monoculture has been shattered. But again, that's why I enjoy this too. Weekly releases. I will continue to bang that drum. Weekly releases are better. Okay? Much better.
You and I are in the minority there, but I do agree with you.
I wonder if we are in the minority. I every time, but I mean, to be fair, you're right, because I've talked to a few people recently who are like, no, I wait till they all come out, and I just do not understand it.
I don't mind having like 2 or 3 built up. That's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
But
when you really love something, the anticipation to when the episode drops is one of the best feelings.
Yeah, like any Game of Thrones, anything House of the Dragon.
Yeah. Hell yes. Dude.
Cliffhanger. Oh, man, I got to wait another week until Sunday night, but it's a good wait.
Firefly was a great series. Very underrated. Loved Firefly.
Is that the one that's like a cult phenomenon?
Yeah. Nathan Fillion.
Yeah.
Being a rapscallion. It's basically the show. If you like Western space stuff, cowboy space, very cowboy space. Hey guys, I do want to remind you about Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Go to yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. If you're suffering from ED, you feel like, hey, do I have low T? Like, I don't feel like I'm getting the return of my workouts that I used to. I just feel low energy, lethargic, lackadaisical. Well, we can help you. Okay, maybe you're low T, maybe you're not. There's only one way to find out. You come in, get your labs drawn, take the first step, and then we customize a plan for you to help you achieve your peak potential. And that's what this is about, being the best version of yourself and not letting embarrassment stop you from achieving those goals. Because when you let the embarrassment over something like ED control you, well, that becomes a bit of a vicious cycle, doesn't it? Where embarrassment begets more embarrassment because you're not doing anything about it. So stop it and do something about it by going to Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, yourgoodwood.com. NFL round 2 coming up this weekend, guys, the divisional round. I just want to do a quick round of takes on each game here, kind of a first pass at how we're feeling going into Saturday and Sunday. Starting it off Saturday, 3:30 p.m., Texans headed to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. And my first reaction, a word association with this game is it feels like, okay, yeah, sure, Chiefs win.
Mm-hmm.
But it is crazy because every game the Chiefs have played pretty much this year has been close, right? And the Texans look really good last week. So it's like, it's weird that I think it's going to be very, very close, but I think it's 100% that the Chiefs win.
Yeah, if you're asking like, hey, give me, one word to describe how you're feeling about this game, inevitable.
Yes, thank you. Perfect. Nailed it. 10 out of 10, no notes.
Yeah, the Texans played great against the Chargers. I was there in person. They played with passion. They played with a lot of toughness, and you can tell there's a chip on their shoulder because of what a lot of people said about that game. Rex Ryan said it's a bye week for the Chargers. They took that personal. But when you have that, it's like when you hit the NOS button a little too early.
Yeah.
Right? And you empty the tank for that one race, knowing you got race 2 and 3 still left to go. But
we're still racing for pinks, too,
guys. Ain't no more NOS in there. The tanks are empty. I think that's what the Texans. So they'll fight. They've got a lot of Jimmys and Joes to keep it close. But at the end of the day, the Chiefs just continue to do what they do, and they pull away.
Wait, is Travis Kelce, is he fat now? I saw Dive Kleiman, which is one of the weirdest accounts. I used to love it. It gets weirder and weirder. But
it's so weird because it's like bought by somebody.
Yeah, it got bought by somebody. It's not him. But I've heard the guy behind the original one was also really weird. It's just whatever. I saw him tweet a picture of Kelce, and it was Kelce skinny, and then Kelce kind of looking fat. But he deleted it, which was a Photoshop. We'll see. Travis Kelce's one of those players, though. It's like I don't care what he did in the regular season. It feels as if he's going to show up when it matters most.
Yeah, he does. That's all the Chiefs are.
True. True, actually.
I mean, this year their stats aren't great. They're barely winning, but they're winning.
I mean,
the number one seed.
The craziest thing is still how Saints fans feel about Steve Spagnuolo. We watched that man put together the literal worst defense in NFL history.
Yeah.
But bookended is him winning Super Bowls with the Giants and then Super Bowls with the Chiefs. But when he was down here, he gave up more yards than any defense in history. What happened? How's that possible?
I know.
Like the Chiefs have been carried by their defenses here. Whatever, doesn't matter.
And every broadcaster talks about him on third downs and his blitz packages and how it's impossible to figure out. It's like, well, I know a year that people did figure it out.
Yeah. I guess Chris Jones goes a long way, too. Tay, take on this game?
I agree with you with the whole, like, you think Travis Kelce's kind of washed, but then he's going to show up when it matters most. Gosh, you go look at his raw numbers. He had 97 catches this year. 830 yards.
Okay,
guys,
never mind.
touchdown numbers weren't where they were supposed to be, but it was really those first 3 weeks because, like, he didn't even break, like, the 40-yard threshold in the first 3 weeks. But his most recent game, he had 85 yards and a touchdown. Like, Travis Kelce is still Travis Kelce. Let's make no mistake about it. And I agree with you with it seems inevitable that they're going to win, but it's going to be close. Hey, good teams find a way to win close games. That's what Kansas City's done all the time. I mean, there's so many people that are like, Kansas City gets lucky. They're super lucky.
Can't be lucky if it's that consistent, dude.
They got lucky 15 times this year,
It's like we said.
Anytime they needed to make a play, they did it.
Every NFL game is stacking tiny wins in little moments that eventually equal the big moment. And nobody does that better than Mahomes, Reed, and Kansas City. Alondra, do we know, is Tay going to be at the game?
I have no idea.
Not our Tay.
I have no idea if Tay is going to be at the game.
I thought you were. Is it you or Taylor who's our resident Taylor Swift correspondent?
It's neither. I don't believe.
I don't know if we had a correspondent.
Jeez. I mean, how are we ever going to catch Murphy, Sam, and Jody if we don't even have a Taylor Swift beat writer? So you don't think MSJ are doing Taylor updates nearly daily? No, that's why I said you or Taylor, because I know y'all have both gone to the Eras tour. True or false?
True. I have been.
Okay, thank you. Y'all have both been to the Eras tour.
Yes.
Me and Jacob not.
Yeah.
Y'all are younger. I'm just saying y'all are a bit better suited to be our Taylor Swift beat writers.
I would assume that Taylor Swift is going to be at this game.
Okay.
Because she's not on tour or anything.
Perfect. Okay, see, thank you. That's perfect. That's what we were looking for. I'm going to, yes, and if you could please report on the outfit, please.
Okay.
That'd be great.
Do you want my take on the game, or was I just here
Nope.
for Tay-Tay?
As a woman, all I really cared about was whether or not Taylor Swift was going to be.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Get him.
Yeah, I'm just being very clear here. I would love your take on the game.
My take on the game is that the Chiefs have sold their soul to the devil, so they're gonna win this game. But I do think that Pat Mahomes obviously is not having the best year, and CJ Stroud actually had a good game last week. So, like y'all, I think it might be closer than a lot of people think. But again, Chiefs.
It's
inevitable.
weird. Like, I think it'll be a last-second field goal. It'll be a last-second field goal, but it'll be the Chiefs who.
It's gonna be like a dumb pitch to Kelsey or something, and he's.
Oh yeah, it'll be a lateral from Kelsey, basically like one that nobody else would make.
I would say this: if the Texans do win, the entire playoffs becomes infinitely more interesting. All of a sudden, all bets are off.
I agree
all
with
of
that.
a sudden everybody's eyes get as big as dinner plates.
Yeah.
Well, Bills
Thinking about-
Ravens gets even bigger.
Yeah, thinking,
Yeah.
wow, yes.
Bigger than it
It
already
does.
is.
Yes, like multiple orders of magnitude bigger because all of a sudden Lamar and Josh Allen can both taste it. The raid boss has been slain, but probably not. All right, I said we're going to go quick takes in each game, but here we are. So let's go to break, and when we get back, we'll continue to break down round 2 of the NFL playoffs.
Off the bench.
Go to trashrangers.com, and make the switch today. Remember, you live in Livingston or Ascension Parish, and you're lucky because you have a choice about who handles your residential trash pickup. You want to go with Trash Rangers for, well, not just because it's hassle-free, reliable. They give back to the communities that they are a part of. They're a local business, right? You're supporting local. They text you the night before it's your pickup day, so you never forget to put the cans out again. Get nagging husbands off your back. But the best part is right now, it's half off. So you go to trashrangers.com, you explore it, and you can get service for under $15 a month. What? Go to trashrangers.com. Make switch today. Trashrangers.com.
Yeah, when you go to the website, it's in the bottom left corner there to sign up for residential service. Commercial right there in the middle. Then there's roll-off dumpsters. 3 different types to choose from. Right there at the bottom right corner. Call them. Let them know what you've got going on. They'll make sure you have the right size at your project. Trashrangers.com.
There it is. The extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary. For those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to
We don't even talk anymore. And we don't even know.
Welcome back to the 9th-ranked morning sports show in America. Off the bench.
I'm a working man. What's the joke? What's the joke? What's the plan? Welcome back, OTB. 104.5 ESPN. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Thursday. We're talking a little NFL playoffs. Talk Texans, Chiefs. Pretty much unanimous here. I think the Chiefs take it down Saturday afternoon. I love this game being first, though, for what we hit on at the end. Because if the Texans somehow win, then everything else for the rest of the weekend becomes more exciting. Starting with, but maybe not maybe least affected, being that it's in the NFC, but Saturday night, 7 p.m., Commies, Lions. Our hero, Jaden Daniels, trying to continue his majestic rookie run, only this time he's got to go into Detroit. And there may not be a team playing with more belief, a better culture, a greater whole is greater than the sum of its parts feel than the Detroit Lions. And Jared Goff is awesome as well. I mean, what do the Lions have? Over 20-something players on IR?
A little bit less now because they got Anzalone back. They got only 2 or 3 of them back. But
Here
I mean,
they
still
are
like
as the 1 seed. I mean, between Notre Dame and the College Football National Championship and the Lions as the 1 seed here, a lot to be said for how much you can overcome when you're together, well-coached, and tough as hell.
I think that's completely fair. I mean, Dan Campbell with Detroit kind of has that mentality and everything that he does. You know, he didn't just focus on one guy. And look, they got star players without question, but it's about the team and it's about. Can I say grit? Do we say the Dares were over? The Dares are off. Okay, yeah. The gritty team, and that's his message. And he's got it on his hat. He's got it on the wall, and I think some of that is you get your other players, your backup players, believing. Now, can that take you to a Super Bowl and winning a championship? Maybe it can't, but it can take you down the road to try to get to a Super Bowl until you get some of your players back, because, you know, having what you feel like is the belief from your head coach, man, they're all pros there, and that goes a long way in their mentality. It's like, hey, I don't want to be the guy that screws this up. I'm going to be the next man up.
Yeah. And I think they are good enough to make a Super Bowl. Jared Goff has made a Super Bowl before in the past. Jared Goff is not someone who I think wilts in the big moments. I think they also have the added motivation, not that this really matters in light of all the other motivating factors, but if they manage to make the Super Bowl, they will get Aiden Hutchinson back for that game, right? Or have a very good chance, at least, of getting Hutchinson back for the game. He's saying he would play. He
would play, and he would be ready.
So, I look, in the end, again, don't overthink it. This is the 1 seed. The Commies are great. Jaden Daniels is awesome, but this has to be too much for a rookie, right? A rookie cannot go into Detroit and come out with a win here. Saturday night, round 2 of the NFL playoffs. If he does start building the statues in D.C., Jaden can have his right next to the Lincoln Memorial.
I honestly think if any quarterback could do it, it would be Jaden Daniels. Just because what do you take away? His legs, his arm. You can't take away both. And he's so dynamic in the biggest moments. I saw a montage of highlights when he was making game-winning plays just at the back end of the season. Not even for the full season, just the back end, like, you know, the final 4 or 5 games. And you think they're out. You think they're not going to find a way, and they always do. And they don't have – and I know a lot of Bronco fans and some other fans that want their guy to be Rookie of the Year. Like, look at the weapons. It's like, no, don't play yourself. He's throwing to a lot of receivers that were cut from other teams that nobody else wanted.
Terry McLaurin, yes, he has finally helped Terry McLaurin
McLaurin's
reach
like
his
the
full
one guy
potential,
that he has, but
yeah.
like Zach Ertz is on his last leg of his career. Zach Ertz was like at home a couple different times because nobody wanted him. Nobody thought he had anything left, and now he's having this resurgence. Austin Eckler, Chargers didn't want him, right? He's there. I mean, we there's a lot of receivers. They got like 7 receivers with the last name Brown that nobody wanted.
Well, it's just more St. Brown brothers.
They just continue to find a way, and it's because of their leaders, because of JD5.
All right, guys. Landra, Tay, what y'all think?
So I think that I agree with Jake that if anybody could do it, it's Jaden, for the same reasons that we talked about last week. Like, he's just calm, cool, and collected all the time. But this is the Detroit Lions. This is a Dan Campbell-led team. So I think the Lions take this one. And like you said, Jared Goff has been there before. And even the game against the Bucks last week was very, very close. Came down to literally like the wind blowing a little, a little bit. So
that is the crazy part about. Yes, I mean the wild card here is everything y'all are talking about. It's just Jaden at the end of games.
Yeah.
Because hasn't he thrown like 3 final play from scrimmage touchdowns in games this year? That's crazy.
Yeah.
When's the last time we've seen that in a single season? It's like hitting 3 buzzer beaters. Just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And that's with way more games. Tay.
Yeah, I'm going with the Detroit Lions, but it has nothing to do with Jaden.
East, you know. You just can't cheer for the Commies.
I think you picked the Lions too, but anyways, this has, for me, it has to do with the Lions offense, not even anything with Jaden Daniels. This running game for the Lions, Jared Goff's been super efficient. Like, that's what killed the Bucs. We were talking about it, the play discrepancy. Like, the Commanders ran 35 more plays than the Bucs because the Bucs couldn't run the ball. I think the Lions are going to be able to run the ball. I mean, what was it? It was penalties and the 1 fumble by Baker, which is really what did them in. I think the Lions are going to play a lot cleaner. So, like, I think Jaden's going to get his, but I think it's going to be hard for the Commanders' defense to get the Lions off the field.
Final note here. One thing about Dan Campbell, there's a really good write-up in The Athletic, but we always talk about him being a meathead. There is, in this write-up, the entire theme of it is also that he's kind of a football genius as well. And that as much credit as Ben Johnson gets, Campbell is right there with him in terms of adding wrinkles, throwing in creativity. And it's basically his players just saying, y'all don't see it. He doesn't want you to see it because he's happy to just be pigeonholed as the dumb football guy. But he's actually very strategically smart as well. I like Lions. All right.
Yeah, that's no surprise that he kind of gets that tag. And again, if anybody listens to me in the afternoons, meathead is not something that is a bad thing. It is a term of endearment. That means you are all about ball. That means you are 24/7 thinking of ways to be better on the football field, and that's what Dan Campbell has.
That's all I think about, man. That's all I think about. It's y'all.
Did you ever there's a lot of times I've had head coaches get up there and talk like that. You're like, all right.
Yeah. It's hard to make somebody believe you're sincere.
That was sincere.
Yeah. All right, let's go real quick on Rams Eagles. It's hard for me to bet against the Rams right now. But then again, the Eagles are just so consistent as well, even if it appears like there's maybe fractures on the team. I'm going to go Rams to come up with a road win. Red hot. Matt Stafford, done it before. Jared Verse, Braden Fisk playing their ass off. All the weapons. Give me the Rams.
Rams final answer.
Oh, okay.
I agree with you. I think the defense, I think they're healthy. They have weapons. They've got 2 receivers. They've got a back. They've got the quarterback. Now, they got injury at tight end that we'll see how that kind of affects them. I know Stafford loves to find the tight end in the seams and kind of some of the intermediate stuff when he gets in trouble. But the Eagles have been disappointing in the playoffs. The Rams feel like they're thriving right now. And so I think the Rams getting healthy with their defense paired with their offensive stars, they get the win.
Okay, real quick. What do I got? Eagles.
Rams are my Super Bowl pick for the NFC.
Okay.
So I'm going Rams.
There you go. When we get back, let's break down the biggest one of the weekend, Ravens, Bills, and then we'll get into an insane college football rabbit hole to start hour 3. We still got our Hunt Palmer player proto profiles as well. Keep it locked here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
Main event of Baton Rouge. You're looking to have some fun, guys. Take the family out to play some games, have some delicious food and drinks, maybe do some professional level bowling, maybe enjoy a little multi-level laser tag arena. Show the kids how it's done. Okay? You merely adopted the laser tag. I was born in it, molded by it.
Yeah.
Do you even QSR? Not anymore, because I'm main event. Go to Main Event Baton Rouge. You mention OTB, you get a 30-minute free game card. All you can play in the arcade. How about that? Just for mentioning Off the Bench. And if you want to plan a birthday party, if you lead a sales team, a business, you want to have a great night out for your team, again, we have dedicated party planners on standby, ready to go. Main Event right here in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, go to the website and look, the thing we always tell you about, and you'll see it on the site, is there's something for everybody. Whatever you want to make it, man. It is going to be a special, fun night for you, for the fam, for whoever is along with you. Mainevent.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is
Welcome in to the best morning sports-ish show around. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Welcome back to OTB, wrapping up our little NFL Round 2 preview here on Off the Bench, and we have saved the best for last as Sunday night, Ravens-Bills, 5:30 p.m. in Buffalo. I saw a headline, we're in for another freezer here? Just going to be absolute. I mean, the NFL Films music may be nowhere more appropriate than 2 of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, 2 of the top MVP candidates from this season, 2 players that the one thing missing on the resume is playoff success, and they will meet in Buffalo in a blizzard. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be Wizard, Ravens, Bills. There you go.
Oh, man. I think I'm going to go Ravens.
Because Derrick Henry?
Derrick Henry added with Lamar, added with Mark Andrews, added with just so many weapons that even though Zay Flowers has been out, Lamar makes everybody around him better.
Yeah.
And, I mean, even Likely, the tight end from Coastal Carolina, he's had some big plays this season. They just find a way. They find a new weapon because of number 8. And you pair that with Derrick Henry, who almost had 2,000 yards rushing himself, and we didn't talk about it because Saquon did have over 2,000 yards, and we know what the defense is all about. So Like Roquan being out, that's a big blow, and we'll see how they handle that. But I don't think I'm betting against Lamar, even maybe down the road.
It is interesting because Josh Allen also makes everyone better around him, as evidenced by this season, but certainly maybe the players around him aren't as good to begin with. So they played back in September, and the Ravens dominated.
Yeah.
35-10. Little revenge on the mind. Hard to beat a good team twice is in play here. Alondra, what you got?
I'm going Ravens. I'm going Ravens all the way, though.
Ooh. Like all the way through to win the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Tay-Tay?
I mean, Ravens are the more talented team. I think it's a bad matchup for the Bills, but I'm the type of person to where you ain't gonna, what do they say? You ain't gonna fool me twice until Lamar does it. I can't bet on Lamar Jackson, guys. I heard a stat this morning.
Fool me, can't get fooled again.
I heard a stat this morning. In the regular season, Lamar Jackson has a 103 quarterback rating. That's phenomenal. In the playoffs, it drops all the way down to the mid-70s. On the flip side, Josh Allen, 93 rating in the regular season, 101 in the playoffs. Josh Allen's always elevated in the playoffs, and up to this point, Lamar's not. It's at home in Buffalo. Again, I think Baltimore's a bad matchup. It wouldn't surprise me if they won, but I'm not betting against Josh Allen.
Yeah, I'm just going to side with home field here. I'm just going to side with Bills Mafia, the game being in Buffalo, being cold as hell. Give me the Bills. I just hope we get an instant classic here.
I think it will be.
I mean, yeah, I think all these games, I think the round one blowouts are a thing of the past. I think all these games should be pretty close and excellent this weekend. Really looking forward to round two of the NFL playoffs. Also looking forward to the next hour of the show, where we will do our Hunt Palmer player portal profile. I will send you down a rabbit hole. Billionaires, the billionaires that run college football. And is Ohio State funded by Jeffrey Epstein? I mean, that everybody's asking.
I love this so much.
Everybody's asking. These are the questions that we will seek to answer in the next hour of the show. I didn't know about this until yesterday. It was yesterday afternoon. So coming out of this YouTube Air Capsules 104.5 ESPN, let's have ourselves a very fun final 2 hours. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. here on Thursday, January 16th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect cloudy skies with a high of 64. In hour 2 of today's show, we'll have the latest edition of the Hunt Palmer Portal Player Profile here for LSU football. We'll talk the Arch Manning era officially begins in Austin, Texas, and we'll continue our discussion with the NFL playoffs. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let's go, baby, let's go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah, 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 yeah!
Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Hey, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Now, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. Hour number 2. Uh-oh, guys. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Can you feel it?
Depends. What are we talking about?
Little wind beneath your wings.
Bette Midler?
Caw. The Pelicans. Uh-oh, Jake. Guess who just hit double-digit wins last night? The New Orleans Pelicans beating the Dallas Mavericks 119-116. What does that make now? Winners of 3 of the last 4?
Yep.
Are you kidding me? 750 win percentage? I mean, second night of a back-to-back, no Zion, no problem. DeJounte Murray dropping 30. Trey Murphy dropping another 24. 10 boards for Murph. Coming up with a goaltend that they didn't call at the end of the game to win the game. Hell yeah, we'll take it. Bro, all tongue-in-cheek stuff aside, all sarcasm aside, this is both exciting me and depressing me because you are kind of seeing some of the potential of what this team could be if they were healthy.
Yeah.
Because Misi's really good. He's a rookie starting down low and really playing well. I mean, last night, +9 in the plus-minus, 12 points, 6 boards. DeJounte Murray, now that he's healthy, he's producing every single night. Trey Murphy's starting to really come into his own, feel the potential we always knew he had. And now you have Zion available whenever you have. Jordan Hawkins drops 12 last night off the bench. I mean, again, this is a year wasted, and the hole's too deep, and there's no way they do anything with it. But I'll be damned if they're not kind of giving me something, a little stirring in my loins here as of late.
Yeah, it's too little, too late. And I agree with you. It's like it's like probably three different feelings of what you actually feel for the Pelicans, because you get mad because you're like, this is what it should be. Then it's like you get excited because they are winning games, but then you get mad again because you're screwing up your draft choice in a lost season. So there's like three different kind of feelings that you feel for the Pelicans and what they're doing right now. And it is a team that if maybe sort of kind of one day they could be healthy.
3 of 4, guys. 3 of 4. Look, we're going to ride this thing all the way until when Zion gets hurt in another week, and then we'll just and then we can back off again. But for now, okay, Pels, I see you. I'm not going to grant you the rank of making me happy. I am not going to call you back and talk on the phone, but I may send you a like on social media. Maybe I tell you, oh, good job. You look like you're doing well. Okay, we're not getting back together. I'm not giving in, but
I'm happy for you.
I'm happy for you, right? You look like you're doing well. You look like you're getting things together. See, you've been in the gym. That's good for you, okay? Keep it up. But you ain't going to get me again. But I'm happy for you. But you're kind of going to get me again, maybe, if you want me. Do you want me? You sure? You want to talk? I'll talk. How long? Anyway.
They're going to get you again.
3 of 4, guys. If they keep this up, 75% win rate, let's go.
Well, now, what do you want them to do, though?
I don't know. That's the problem. That's the problem. It really is the nightmare purgatorial situation where they play great and you're like, oh man, this is what it could be if they're fully healthy. I mean, are you gonna run it back? I don't know. But whatever. Wins. I still credit to the Pels. Noogie says, I feel like Pelicans talk is ceding enormous ground to Murphy, Sam, and Jody. No way y'all catch Kubelik and McElroy right now. True.
Dang.
True.
True. I was going to say, they got a couple games coming up that they can win against the Jazz. Yeah. Jazz are second to last.
Yeah,
while the Pelicans
So has
are
Danny
last.
Ainge not made the Jazz good?
No, not like he's done with the Celtics.
Didn't they try to tank to get Wemby, though, and then they were actually decent?
Yes, they were good that year. That's what I'm saying, yeah.
That was when Jordan Clarkson was averaging 25
They
a
put
game
a
randomly.
bad roster together and what they thought was going to get them Wemby, and then they were 500.
And here Alondra
almost made the playoffs.
Here Alondra is going straight from the Tim Duncan era into getting Wemby.
Okay, there was a period there where it was not good. It was not good.
It was still not
it was
god
pretty
awful,
bad.
but it got a little bad.
It was pretty bad.
It got a little bad
for a few years there.
Mark Cumby says Pels suck and will always suck. Avo says imagine wasting energy on the Pelicans.
Oh my god.
A lot of positive comments in the chat.
I feel like they're rooting their chance to tank for flag. Yeah. Okay. I get it, guys. We can move on. Nobody cares about the Pelicans. That's fair. That's fair. But I see you guys. I see you. All right. Do we want to go ahead and knock out? Let's go ahead and do that. Let's talk the Hunt Palmer Portal Player Profile. It's a series that we've been doing daily. It's inspired by Hunt's work on LouisianaSports.net, in which, look, the offseason is crazy. Portal combat is every day, and rosters change seemingly unceasingly. And, yeah, we might talk about a guy when he signs that day, but it's worth going back and looking and saying, okay, well, who is this guy really? And next up on the list is Virginia Tech transfer Braylon Moore. This guy is a prototypical interior lineman here. 6'3", 303. That is perfect center height and weight. The last 2 years, he has started 24 games for Virginia Tech. In 23, he played left guard, and in over 600 snaps, did not allow a sack. Only gave up 7 hurries. In 2024, he played center, and in 741 snaps, he did give up 3 sacks, which is a little heavy. But look at his PFF grade. 76.9 in pass protection. 67.5 in the run game. Compare that to DJ Chester, as Hunt does. Chester graded out at a 65 in pass and a 49 in the run. So a significant upgrade just from a grading perspective. He's a fourth-year player, very experienced, teaming up with a fifth-year quarterback. Should be a great combination there in terms of not being frazzled or rattled, being able to pick up the offense quickly. And here's how I view Braylon Moore. The floor is that you have an excellent, experienced rotational piece that can either start or play anywhere on the interior. So even if he's not as good as you were hoping, he still represents a piece that every great team has to have. He's a guy that can play left guard, center, right guard, whenever you need him. The ceiling is that you have a great starting center, which then frees up DJ Chester. And then you have two guard positions that'll have a lot of young, unproven talent competing over, but a lot of them, right? You'd have Mabinga, Chester, Cohen Eccles, Bo Bordelon, Josh Thompson, Tyler Miller, Carius Kern. Like, I don't know who would win those jobs, but I would feel pretty good about them considering the kind of raw talent amassed there. So the Braylon Moore pickup is so shrewd and impactful to me because I don't see how it ends up being bad. There's no way that it just doesn't work. Maybe it doesn't work out as well as you want, but he's still an interior guy that you could either be as first off the bench, sixth man, or you need a starting guard. Well, maybe he's like he could fit in a million different ways.
Yeah, you had to put all these kind of pieces together from what you saw in the ball game, what you're getting in the transfer portal, and now you got to figure out your best five. I don't think that best five is settled anywhere. I don't think there's one position on this offensive line where Brad Davis is like, no, this is our starting left tackle. This is our starting left guard. This is our starting center. And across the board, I don't think he has that information. But I don't think it's like in a bad way, because we could say that in a bad way if you're like, man, you ain't got no players. I think you got players. Now you just have to figure out where they're going to be pieced. Where do they help the team? Where do they play the best? Because you do have a lot of different pieces who have played tackle, who have played guard. Now, would you like to have a Will Campbell and an Emory Jones every single year? Absolutely. Now, that's rare. And with this group, who played well in the bowl game, you go back, you watch that tape. They played well against Baylor. You have to figure out, okay, who are the best five? Who is the interior swing guy? And who's going to be the tackle swing guy? Now, you've got some pieces to choose from, and now that's what this spring practice and kind of building into the season is going to find out.
Yeah, and a really good job this portal season of getting the majority of pieces in place for spring. In the past, it feels like they haven't fully committed or they've missed, and then they've had to go scrambling afterwards. You pretty much, again, now with the addition of the safety from NC State, you pretty much have everything in place. What's the one? Is it offensive tackle? Did we get a tackle? No, that's the one thing.
No.
You got Josh Thompson, who people think can play tackle, but when he was in the portal, he was listed as interior offensive lineman. And even Solomon Thomas and Carius Kern, they were more interior O-line as well. Like, I still think you need a tackle.
But outside of tackle.
Yeah, Weston Davis, too, though. That's a five-star from
Tyree Adams.
You do, Tyree Adams. They like Bordelon at tackle. So, I mean, you got pieces.
So it's a situation where you pretty much have all the pieces. Like, if you didn't add anybody in the next portal window, you would feel really good still about where you're at. And so the point of that is that's good roster management to have all those pieces ready to go for spring. So because spring is when you start the crafting of the new team. I mean, really it's like right now you're working out, fourth quarter, all that sort of stuff, right? But spring ball is where you really start to see. I always describe it like qualifying for a NASCAR race. It's going to tell you who's in pole position going into the fall for these starting jobs. And unlike the last couple of years, this is a much more complete roster going into spring, and that should excite you, especially because it's led by a quarterback who is the second highest odds to win the Heisman. We kind of gloss over that. And it's because we're spoiled now. And we've had two Heisman winners at quarterback in the last 5 years. But you are entering a year with a quarterback who has the second best odds to win the most prestigious trophy in college football. If that doesn't get you a little excited, if that doesn't stir your loins, you should go to Goodwood because it should. It's very exciting.
You got the number 4 and number 5 interior offensive linemen in the portal. So you've gotten some talent back into that room. And again, that bowl game is going to pay off for so many different players. We talked about it at the time. For Trey'Dez Green, he's never going to get live, run blocking reps like he got in that game. For Caden Durham, he's never going to get live pass protection reps like he did in that game. So same thing for these offensive linemen. Like that was so valuable, those practices leading into it, but also that game time.
Get confidence, man.
Yeah, so
Believe
now
it. Show yourself you can do it.
Yeah, so now when you're going to Little Death Valley in Clemson, South Carolina, it's not going to be really the first time you're thrown into the fire. You can go back in your memory bank. You can reach and say, man, I went against a Baylor team that had won 6 in a row, and we went out there and we were dominant. We won that game. The offense certainly moved the ball up and down the field, and so you get to pull from that. And so that experience, just in that one singular game, I think is going to pay off for this team. And then, like, as far as the tackle position, we talked about like a Weston Davis. Like, okay, well, what can he give you? He was a 5-star guy. He had a freshman year to sit and watch and learn. Can he compete for a right tackle position?
It's and you know what, Jake? I hope they lean into the Clemson stuff. Maybe, and not to be all like back in my day guy, but like, again, I remember day one of workouts in January. Tommy Moffitt yelling at us going into 2011 about Oregon and how fast they are and the pace with which they play. And it became this buffer against lackadaisicality. It became a buffer against complacency, against wanting to be lazy, maybe not doing the work that you need to. You knew you had to bring it every day because immediately out of the gates there was going to be hell to pay.
Yeah.
And I hope this team leans into that and they don't adopt the like, well, we don't want to make it too big. We just want to stick to our routine. No. How about from day freaking one, you're talking about Clemson and how they want to take the name Death Valley from you. And how they want to prove that, no, they are the actual Death Valley. They are the actual Tigers. They want to prove to you that, you're still not that guy. You're still not that good. Hand you a 6th season opening loss in a row.
Oof.
I'm not shying away from that. I'm leaning into it all offseason, as should this team. I hope they do. But Braylon Moore, it's a good pickup, man. It's a good pickup for an offensive line that, again, a lot of talent, lacking in experience. What does Braylon Moore bring as his greatest asset? A lot of experience. Good job by Brad Davis and this LSU staff.
Yeah, I mean, you bring in Moore and you bring in Josh Thompson as well. It's a redshirt junior. Played a lot of football. Moore's a redshirt sophomore. So you've brought in guys that have played, in Power 4 major conferences, ACC, Big Ten. That's what you needed.
Nookie says, this like a bully taking a classmate's lunch money, T-Bob in the hall with Hunt in a headlock. Look, McFly, you better not post that, or you better post that portal stuff. No, this is a way of creating synergy and conversation, because LouisianaSports.net is powered by us here, and this is a way of featuring the website, which I've been using for show prep and absolutely love. Ross, Hunt, Marla, the team's doing a great job. But yeah, also, like I said, like the portal stuff happens so fast and heavy that sometimes it's good to take a step back and say, okay, what did we really get? How do they fit in the puzzle? And it gives you a very clear picture. And let's be clear, my expectations are sky high for this team next year. There will be no excuse. There will be no excuse next year. This is a team that has to compete for championships. They have all of the elements. And I think as we continue this series, it's going to continue to prove that, given this is the number one portal class in America right now. All right, when we get back here and off the bench, let's get to the billionaires that run college football. More OTB coming up next.
Off the bench.
You don't have to be a billionaire to have the backyard of your dreams. You just need to get in touch with Pinnacle Exterior Construction. And maybe you want to build a pool, a custom pool. Maybe you want to choose from our spec pools, which you get a ton of different specs to choose, detail work within them, so you're still customizing however you want. Maybe you want to build an outdoor kitchen, outdoor living area, putting green. You've seen them on the galleries on pecbuilt.com. Maybe you want turf, not a putting green, but just, you never want to deal with grass again. A bigger, better fence. Keep Taylor from yelling at you about Deion Sanders. Get some privacy. Why is he always looking over the fence? Get out of here, guy. Well, Pinnacle can help you there. Bulkheads, pergolas there as well. We build the spaces. You build the memories. Shout out to Pinnacle Exterior Construction.
Yeah, pecbuilt.com is the website, and you'll see it right there as you do on our YouTube page. Everything, right? Outdoor turf, pools, fences, bulkheads. You'll be blown away. pecbuilt.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental.
Back to sports talk. Maybe. Off the bench.
What happened, y'all? Welcome back. OTB. Bill, this is my windshield. There's a new massive crack along the bottom, so I'm just going to ride. What do y'all do about cracks in the windshield? Do y'all immediately get them fixed?
I usually ignore it.
Yeah, me too.
I never get them fixed.
My front windshield looks so ratchet.
Yeah.
It's literally, I think, got like 3 or 4 cracks in it.
I have these 2 long cracks in my windshield that have been there since 2018.
Hell yeah. Okay, good.
Yep.
So I'm just making sure that I'm among friends here.
Yeah.
It's a safe space. What are you supposed to do? Do you pay out of pocket? Do you go through
I think
insurance?
You pay out of pocket.
Right? You don't want to use
so.
insurance for that, I'm guessing.
I wouldn't.
I get so triggered by that stupid commercial where the 2 guys are so happy their windshield broke. They're on the road trip.
So dumb.
And the guy has a dumb hat on. We get to go to safe.
I am the definition of like, you know those memes of like, I'm just a girl. When it comes to cars and like car stuff, that's me. Like, and that's probably the most girl thing that I'm about is like, I don't do
That's
nothing
me
with
too,
my
man.
car.
We never had auto shop or anything when I was in high school. Like, I don't know anything about how a car works.
No.
It's like that Nate Bargatze bit we were talking about yesterday where like you go to the past, can you actually prove you're from the future?
Yeah.
Like we drive around in cars. How do they work? Combustible engines,
Right. I don't know.
fire, gas. Do you know what gas is? You
Yeah.
if I pour it in, the car goes. I don't know how anything works.
No, me either. I know
It's
how
like-
to change a flat.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for
but I
sure.
don't know
For
how
sure.
like anything
I
works.
can change the oil. I can change the flat. Change a spark
Who
plug
taught you to
here or
change the
there.
oil?
Grandfather.
Okay, that's cool.
I
mean, you can
Now,
look
it gets
anything
harder.
up. You can look anything up on
Now you
YouTube
I was about
if
to
you
say,
want to.
So it gets harder now to change oil because
Yeah.
of skid plates and different things. Like the older cars didn't have those, and so you just get under the car and you change the oil. Now you have the skid plate that's kind of protecting all of that in case you hit a bump or anything, and it is more difficult now.
Yeah. I don't know. No, there's like one time though I did my window, my driver's side window wouldn't roll down, and my dad was like, "Well, you got to replace the motor." And I'm like, "How do I replace?" So he ordered me like the part or whatever, but I had to figure out how
Did
to
you do
like
it?
do it myself. Yeah, so I looked up a YouTube video. I had to
Yeah.
take my whole door panel off.
Yeah, hell
Like,
yeah.
so I'm sitting there like by myself, just trying to figure this out. I take the panel off, I connect the motor, and I did everything right. I put the door panel back on. I was so
Didn't you
proud
feel
of
so?
myself.
I have the exact
Like,
same experience with a headlight where I had to take off way more stuff than I ever would have thought just to replace this little bulb.
Yes. Yeah.
But I felt like a NASA engineer
Yes,
by the
I
time
felt
it
like
was
the
done.
smartest person ever.
Can I work on a spaceship?
Yes.
I could be on Apollo 13 and they could just coach me through.
Am I in the wrong line of
anything.
business here?
You had to change the light on your Sienna?
No. This was years ago. See, but that's the other part of this. This is pre-kids. So I could have time maybe to be like, okay, I can mess around here for 2 hours watching YouTube trying to figure this thing out. What am I going to do now when the kids are asleep at night?
Yeah.
When I'm balls tired and all I want to do is enjoy the 1 hour in which nobody's yelling at me for something. But I still have like a mountain of clothes to fold just sitting at the edge of my vision.
If you do it now,
dishes
I
that need
promise
to get done before bed.
You just get on a 2-hour podcast about Star Wars.
I know. I felt bad. That's how my wife passive aggressively shut down the pod last night, was cranking up the vacuum.
I'm dead.
And I was like, all right, guys, writings on the wall. Your boys got to go.
No, I was waiting for a different answer. Like he'd be like, hang on, guys, 1 second. And they think you're leaving. You just turn the volume up with the headphones, drowned out the vacuum. And keep going.
So when you said you did a 2-hour podcast, I was like, man, Caitlin just going to let him do a 2-hour podcast at like the kind of prime time for the kids to kind of get relaxed and go to bed.
No. I made sure to have them asleep by 8 o'clock.
You know, you remember that story you tell about you talking with a former LSU coach and Caitlin's letting you know that it's time to go?
Yes.
I had that kind of Caitlin energy. Is what I was thinking.
I will say this to her credit, maybe 2 hours was the limit because she did a great job of grinding, getting the house better last night. But she could tell that I was so genuinely happy. I was having so much fun that she let me run wild for a bit.
Until the vacuum came on.
Until the vacuum came on. But it was 10
At
o'clock.
10 o'clock
It was 10 o'clock.
night.
So I understand. I'm not arguing against it. Somebody you should never argue against are billionaires, because you'll lose. They're going to kill you. They run the world. Well, Sportico has a really good article breaking down who are the biggest billionaire boosters in college football and what school do they pledge their allegiance to. It starts with SMU. You got Gerald J. Ford, $2.7 billion net worth, financial services magnate, just a finance guy, whatever. But remember, he leads a board at SMU that is without a doubt the richest board in the Power Four. I think they have multiple billionaires on there. What did they pay? Didn't they pay like 50 or 75 million, Jake, just to get out of their TV rights contract like it was nothing?
Yeah, they're paying their way into the ACC right now. They're not getting a conference check.
Yeah.
They raised over $100 million to be able to do so.
It was just easy peasy. So that's the name, Gerald Ford. It's
Like the president?
I mean, right?
That's kind of what I thought.
It's Gerald Ford Stadium.
Yes, it's named after. But is this the?
So I would assume yes.
But it's named after this Gerald Ford. The stadium is. It's named after this guy, not the president. But is this guy related to the president? Reminds me of that old SNL skit where the anchor's trying to record a bunch of headlines before he wants to leave for vacation, so they have to prepare for all presidential potential incidents that could happen. He's like, Gerald Ford died in a car, whatever. For Ohio State University, it's Les Wexner.
See if he's related.
I don't think so.
We'll get to Les Wexner in a little bit. Just know this is a guy, the richest man in Ohio, worth anywhere from $6 to $8 billion. Victoria's Secret, Bath and Body Works. That's Lex. But Lex has a bit more. Did y'all know this? Do you know who Mark Cuban pledges allegiance to?
The Dallas Mavericks.
Shut up, Taylor. College football. Who does Mark Cuban pledge allegiance to?
I felt like I knew this.
Mark Cuban?
Yeah.
Miami.
The Hoosiers. Indiana.
I knew that too.
I did not.
He has he's given millions of dollars to the school. He's spent millions to make a student-run broadcast facility back in 2015. He created this company, Campus Inc., which is an apparel company that he does a ton of NIL deals with. And you got to believe he's a believer in Cignetti. So Cuban, one of the reasons why Indiana may stay relevant going forward.
Oh, shout out to Cubes.
Over there in Texas, Alondra, you got Robert Rowling. He's worth $11 billion.
Slight work.
He made his fortune, him and his father did, as an oil wildcatter. And I don't watch Landman, but I did look up what a wildcatter is because I didn't know. Do y'all know what it is?
Wait, what did you ask?
A wildcatter? If you're an oil wildcatter. Wildcatter.
Can I take a guess?
Yeah.
Somebody who just like buys them up, sells them, kind of moves up the ranks through the oil business.
The AI search on Google, like when I just Googled it, it correlates to AI results now. It says, an oil wildcatter is a person who drills wells in areas that are not known to contain oil. Wildcatters are independent, self-reliant, and risk-taking explorers who search for oil and gas deposits. So basically, it's like that classic, it's like out of a movie.
You find the oil in your backyard, you sell it, all that type of thing.
Well, no, I think it's more like, he's like, there's oil up in them hills, and nobody else believes him. But he's like, I'm going to prove it to you. And, well, Rowling done gone and did it because
Sounds
now.
like you found some of it.
Yeah, I was going to say, now he's worth $11 billion. His law degree is from SMU, though. So, again, he kind of can do.
Didn't the
do
president
both.
of Texas just leave to take the job at SMU?
Oh, I don't know that.
I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jimmy Haslam is University of Tennessee.
Yeah.
Owner of the NFL's Cleveland Browns, of course, $8.5 billion. He's given over $120 million to the University of Tennessee. The music school and the business school both bear his name.
Well.
No. Yeah. There's somebody, Jay Jordan, for University of Notre Dame. No net worth. He's a part of Bill Gates' Billionaires, the giving pledge, who pledged to give away half their wealth before they die or whatnot. He runs a private equity firm with $30 billion in assets, Brewing Capital. He, too, Jake, has given more than $150 million to the Irish over the years. And then at Penn State, you got Terry Pagula, Of course, his daughter's also number 2 or 3 in the world in tennis, owner of the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's behind Penn State. He's worth nearly $8 billion. And then you got Phil Knight at Oregon, $35 billion. Again, we all know that Phil Knight has basically just pledged unlimited money.
Yeah.
And then, Jake, you'll be pleased to know, Arizona State has one in their pocket. Ira Fulton. Again, this is a billionaire that has given away more than $160 million to Arizona State already. And the disclosed support's been to academics, but again, with Dillingham creating belief, you best believe Ira Fulton's going to be getting hit up.
Yeah, Kenny just got a new contract, I believe a 5-year contract, 3rd highest paid now in the Big 12. So things going well there in Tempe. I didn't know that they had a big backer like this.
It's interesting.
It's a huge student body, so it would make sense that somebody would be successful and want to give back.
I think Clemson's is pretty interesting. Anybody want to hazard a guess? What if I told you it was my pleasure?
The Chick-fil-A guy?
Dan Cathy.
That would make a lot of sense.
Dan Cathy, of course, Truett S. Cathy, the OG Chick-fil-A godfather. Dan, a scion of the Cather family. I think he's is he the head Cathy child, I believe? He's the chairman. Whatever. He's the chairman of Chick-fil-A. He didn't even go to Clemson. He went to Georgia Southern.
I was supposed to say, aren't they Georgians?
Yeah,
yes.
I think the original Chick-fil-A's in Atlanta area, right?
Yeah, the Dwarf House. No, he didn't even go to Clemson.
I mean, Clemson's right by that, but still, no, he didn't go there.
But he's already given millions to Clemson's athletics. So
that makes sense. I love that, Bobo. Yeah, we're just a little old Clemson.
That is true. I mean, I would imagine that their morals. How do I want to say their values?
Yeah,
align.
Yes,
in Chick-fil-A and Clemson.
For sure. Like as soon as you said, I'm like, yeah, it makes sense.
Georgia has Don Leeburn Jr., who has this article says, long been cited as one of the nation's most powerful college athletics boosters. He actually passed away in this spring. He was a liquor, wine, and beer distributor. He was a starter in the 1959 Georgia squad that won the SEC and the Orange Bowl. And he has given millions of dollars to Georgia athletics through the years and continues in his will to have it written out. So does Boise State, Allen and Billy D. Noble. It says the Broncos' biggest boosters do so from beyond the grave. The estate of Allen and Billy D. Noble gifted the school $25 million in October, which will support the athletics department.
They're building all new everything in their athletic department in Boise right now.
And it's because the Nobles
Stadium, track, all the things are getting upgraded.
How about this? And by the way, Noble himself went to the school back in the 50s and 60s when Boise kind of got established as a badass football program. How do you think Noble made his money?
Barnes & Noble.
Nope. Actually, not a bad guess.
I don't know anything else Noble.
But if he's from Idaho.
Potatoes.
Potatoes,
Okay,
dude.
yeah,
He's
Idaho.
a potato empire.
What an idiot. I
A
forgot.
literal potato
Barnes &
billionaire.
Noble was a good guess, but yeah. Potatoes.
Literal potato billionaire is funding Boise State. Now, unfortunately, I don't know why. No Todd Graves on this list. Maybe he doesn't match the donations that the others have given thus far. But that wraps it up for the billionaires in college football and which schools they support. Though the one that we have to dive a bit deeper on next segment is Les Wexner. Because Ohio State's money may be a bit dirty. Coming up next here on OTB.
Off the bench.
Hey, guys, we remind you to go to Pelican Roofing, pelicanroof.com. And look, when you're talking about Pelican Roof, you are talking about a company that cares about the customer and has dedicated employees that stand by ready to go for the customer whenever they need. And this comes from answering the phone to having a dedicated project manager on each and every site. Rapid turnaround time, immediate response time when you have any questions. They are the absolute best, and they want to be involved in the community. That's why if you go find them on Facebook, find Pelican Roofing on Facebook. They always have giveaways going on for January. There's a January gym giveaway where you can start that new year, win a year-long membership, feel good, feel strong, kick ass in every single month. We're going to have different community initiatives cranking up there on the Pelican Roof Facebook. So go check it out. And remember, if you're in Baton Rouge, Lafayette, you need a roof, you want to go to pelicanroof.com.
Yeah, they've got shops right there in both. So Lafayette, Baton Rouge, we are talking to you. Certainly go to the website, pelicanroof.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Savor game day platters and snacks, plus drink specials at 1717 Kitchen and Cocktail. So come out for game day and let our team make you the MVP. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered.
When somebody says your name, in my stomach there's a pain. See you walk in my direction, I go the other.
Welcome back to more sports talk with some other stuff mixed in. Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
What happening, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. So we're just breaking down the billionaires in college football. And there was one that we mentioned, and that is Les Wexner. And look, guys, I've got all the documents, okay? I've got them all. You might as well call me T. Alex Jones because I've been in the lab. I've been researching. I've been Googling articles and reading them like a detective. And there has to be asked questions of, is Ohio State's money tainted? In all honesty, I saw a clip on Twitter of Shane Gillis kind of making jokes about this on the Rogan show, talking about like, have you heard about how Ohio State gets all their money? I'm like, what is this about, right? So, this is interesting. I want to look it up. So Les Wexner is Ohio's richest person, worth anywhere from $6 to $8 billion. Pretty cool story. He started The Limited, a store back in 1963.
The Limited.
Not The Limited.
Started it with a $5,000 loan from his auntie. And that began what would become a retail empire. Victoria's Secret, Bath & Body Works, Abercrombie & Fitch.
Yeah.
Now, remember about Abercrombie & Fitch? Do you remember, does anybody remember the scandal they had where they were releasing they would do their I can't remember what they call it. I guess like a lookbook of sorts, but it was like hyper-sexualized.
You talking about like the photo shoots they would do?
Yes, and hyper-sexualized with very young people.
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay, interesting.
I mean, this is the same brand that had like shirtless high school models outside their. Isn't that?
Yes, but I'm saying
That's
even
more
did
Hollister, but yeah,
okay,
they
yeah.
probably
But
did
no,
some
but
of
I mean,
that.
whatever. The imagery is still the same.
Yeah.
I mean, I was shocked when I got here in 2007. I went to Abercrombie & Fitch in the mall, and there, one of my high school best friend's abs were staring back at me, blown up like 20 feet large. But interesting. But beyond what they had in store, Alondra, which you could argue if you really wanted to is, whoa, like, could you do that now? They had these like lookbooks that they would do where it got very sexual to the point of being very controversial, even at a time when that wasn't as controversial. Interesting. Just make a note of it. So back in 2010, Les Wexner gave $110 million to Ohio State. He's given $163 million to Columbus Foundation. He gives tens of millions of dollars to nonprofits and charities throughout the city. That's all very admirable. You know, I feel bad that I'm kind of painting this all a bit conspiratorial because that's all well and good.
Does this end with him on the Buckeye cruise?
It could, although
that would be better.
I don't know if they would want him on the Buckeye cruise now. So you say, okay, Timo, what's this all about? What this is about is Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein was a New York City financial manager when him and Wexner met. They became so close. In fact, at one point, Wexner was Epstein's only known client. Wexner granted Epstein power of attorney. Think about that. Meaning that literally Epstein can make all of these decisions for Wexner. They have been co-presidents of companies together. They have owned homes together. Epstein's been a longtime trustee on the Wexner Foundation. Now, Landry, you know much more about Epstein than I do. And to be fair, everybody has looked deeply into this, obviously, and Wexner's not been found of any wrongdoing or anything like that. But my God, this is a truly awful association to be had when your retail empire was built on Victoria's Secret and Abercrombie & Fitch.
100%.
There's a lot of young people being hypersexualized synergy there that is not the best look.
It's definitely a little sinister when you think about everything that Jeffrey Epstein's accused of. And if you're friends, what do they say? Birds of a feather flock together.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man.
I know.
You're putting out these catalogs with teenagers on it. I don't know. It's not a great look.
It's not a great look.
And then you like Jake brought up the cruise. Like if this man has something to do with the cruise.
The old Buckeye cruise, the old shirtless Bob.
He funds it. Wexner funds the Buckeye
Probably his
cruise.
ship.
Yeah.
So to be fair to Wexner,
They sell it to Epstein's Island or what?
he ended up firing Epstein in 2007. Of course, it was right when Epstein had to pay millions of dollars in a settlement to women that he had sex trafficked. And he claimed that Epstein stole millions of dollars from him. Wexner did. And to be fair, in 2007, after he fired him, actually $47 million was given back to a Wexner Foundation. But here's what I'll let Wexner say, because here's what he said about it. I think it's fair to give him his day in court here, since we're
Is he still
intimate
alive?
a lot of things. Yes.
Okay.
Says, quote, "I would have never guessed that a person I employed more than a decade ago could have caused such pain to so many people. My heart goes out to each and every person who has been hurt. I severed all ties with Mr. Epstein nearly 12 years ago." This is written in 19. "I would not have continued to work with any individual capable of such egregious, sickening behavior as has been reported about him. As you can imagine, this past week, I've searched my soul, reflected, and regretted that my path ever crossed his." So, look, he's giving a lot to charity. He says he knew nothing, but it is still factual that Ohio State's biggest donor, Les Wexner, and Jeffrey Epstein were incredibly tight. Bit of tainted money up there in high.
Not a good look.
As
I
if they
think
weren't.
they should disband the football program.
I think so too.
If they weren't already kind of unlikable enough going into this game.
Yeah.
So that's one thing about the Rule the Galaxy pod I was on last night. They're all from the Midwest.
Yeah.
And they basically described Ohio State as like the Alabama of the Midwest. Like nobody's cheering them except for Alabama
Joe's
fans.
a Purdue fan.
Joe's dad is, they're all kind of more NFL fans.
Yeah.
But
Steelers, right?
They're from Indiana. Yeah, I mean, they're all kind of like, I think like a lot of people, they're like, the craziest thing Ohio State did was make Notre Dame the likable underdog. Because they don't even really like Notre Dame like that.
Right.
But even they're getting on board. Because Notre Dame has a bit of that kind of Alabama.
With us growing up, Notre Dame's never been that.
Yeah.
Didn't matter who they were playing.
Yeah, exactly.
Be playing anybody, and nobody was cheering for Notre Dame.
So, just interesting to think about.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
That's the vibe that you were giving us.
I mean, that's true,
in
though.
this segment.
It's true, though. You have enough gay frogs, all of a sudden there's no more frogs being born.
Right.
Right? What's going on here,
And then
guys?
we don't have anybody eating the bugs.
Exactly.
So
Just look into it, guys. Just do your own research. Just do your own research. Hour 2 of OTB. Wrap it up next.
Off the bench.
Go to All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. You want a brand new vehicle? You want a Toyota certified used vehicle? Maybe you need a rent. Whatever the case may be, maybe you want to look into leasing. Look, no matter what it is, we have the answer, but we do have some great deals going down that you can start to check out at allstartoyotabatonrouge.com right now, because it is 2025, meaning that the 2024s must go. So you hop on the website, start to scroll through, look at what they can offer you. You can always search the inventory as well by make and model. You can look up keywords. You can look up budget, because we're going to find the answer that matches your needs no matter what. Go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
Yeah, no matter if you're buying new, if you're leasing, if you're renting, everything is available. So if you want something bigger, they've got you full-size SUV. They've got the van. They got mid-size SUVs, multiple trucks, multiple everything over at All-Star Toyota
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville.
Welcome back to the best morning sports show around. Sorta. It's Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Why was Alex Jones calling Taylor a fraud? I don't get it. Welcome back to OTB. Jake, you've been doing some research on another portal player. As we talked about Braylon Moore earlier, you can go check that out. It'll be on the OTB LSU channel. But Josh Thompson from Northwestern, my son. He looks like my son, is what I'm saying. Only with blue eyes, which my actual son does have blue eyes. So maybe he's my son, but in the future, but then he came back in the past somehow. And if he ever sees my actual son, then all of reality will collapse because the space-time continuum would have been broken. But either way, you have some good numbers on Josh Thompson.
So we were talking, additions through the portal, obviously offensive line for LSU, and you were kind of giving some PFF grades. How about this for Josh Thompson? Pass blocking grade, 82.6.
Damn, son.
Run blocking grade, 74.2.
And that's in the Big Ten, guys.
It's in the Big Ten.
That's in the Big Ten, guys. Like, I get it on Braylon Moore, maybe like, it's ACC, and I understand that AC down bad after bowl season. Big Ten up big after bowl season. Put that picture back up, Tate. I want people to bask in the glory that is this beautiful, blue-eyed, red-haired man-child whose mustache and beard does not connect, just like mine.
Pass protection grades against Indiana, 78.3. Against the Buckeyes, 76.7. Against the Wolverines, 87.
That's crazy. I'll take that Buckeyes and Wolverines.
Even Illinois, 77.3. Illinois is a good football team up front.
And you gotta love a sicko who's willing to leave Chicago and come all the way down to South Louisiana. Just really going balls deep on the culture shock, change of just everything.
1 penalty on the year.
Damn.
And that was against Purdue. He probably didn't even have to have that penalty that game.
Maybe it was like a statement penalty, Somebody was messing around. He just kicked him in the nuts or gave him a good forearm shiver.
Yeah, played 646 snaps. Did miss 2 games last year, week 8 and week 9, but came back and probably played his best football when he came back from injury.
Shout out Josh Thompson. I'm excited. Big kid too, huh? 6'4"?
Well, Pro Football Focus has him 6'5", 301, but I've seen 6'4", 290 in other places, so I'm not, even if it's somewhere in between still.
I'm pumped, man. I'm pumped. Scott Dyson fired up about this kid now. Hell yes. Yeah, I agree. Looks like a young Streif. Yeah, Streif always had man-child baby face syndrome for sure. For sure. Another Northwestern great. Though a tackle. Thompson, you figure will play on the interior? Or where do you play at Northwestern?
Interior, but he's kind of the one that we talked about maybe could kick out.
Okay. Be interested to see, man.
I was trying to see if we
have 2.0. The only difference is I don't think I ever got a PFF grade like that. Or I would not have if it had existed at the time.
It did exist, I think. College might not have. I
don't think college. Did. Pro definitely did. I don't think they were doing college yet.
I was trying to see if I could find out his splits as far as guard, tackle. Let's see if I can get that before the end of the show.
Can I do a little confession? Why is everybody so mad about this Heisman list?
Didn't give up a sack either, by the way.
Is it because Travis Hunter's season is listed as 3rd?
Oh, you talking about the one that I linked?
Yeah, I've seen it all over the place, though, and people are pissed.
I would imagine.
Yeah, Travis Hunter can't be 3rd on that list.
Yeah, all-time Heisman season, no way.
It was the closest one we've had in the last 14 years. But
is that the only problem? Is that the only problem with
Who's first on that list?
Because it looks good otherwise to me. You got Barry Sanders first. You got Joe Burrow second. Then it's Hunter. Then it's Cam Newton.
Yeah, there's
Charles Woodson 5, Tony Dorsett 6.
Woodson 5.
You can't put
I would have
Hunter
put Woodson
ahead of Cam Newton.
Also,
No.
Woodson.
No, I agree with that. No, I agree.
Woodson was great in the NFL. He should be closer to the bottom of that list.
I could even. I mean, I've always kind of argued that I've even put Cam over Joe, but Joe's statistical dominance is such that I get
One season.
Top 2, Cam Newton.
Yeah. They had Manziel at 7. Okay, to be fair, that feels a bit high given maybe some of the lack of team success. But yeah, everybody's been very upset about this list. Tebow coming in at 9. Your guy, Jake?
I'm at 10.
Lamar at 10.
I just think that,
he likes to castrate kids. Sorry. No.
That was you that thought that.
Yeah, that's my bad. Hour 3 of OTB next.
Off the bench.
There it is. The extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary. For those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Yeah, call Sean right now at 225-719-1723. Sagrera Farms.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. here on Thursday, January 16th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect cloudy skies with a high of 64 in hour 3 of today's show. We'll have big deal or no big deal at 9 a.m. Then 9:15, LSU Executive Chef Michael Johnson hops on the show for our Munchie segment. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch it in the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. You can also follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let's go, baby, let's go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah, 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 yeah!
Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Now, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Welcome back to OTB. Hour number 3, crank it right up, guys, and let's get this hour started with a little big deal or no big deal.
Big deal. Ain't no big deal. Big deal. No big deal. Big deal. No big deal. No big deal. No big deal.
All right, Jake, kick us off.
All right, big deal or no big deal. Joel Klatt, who I think he thinks he's the commissioner of college football right now. He's trying to maybe move Army-Navy to the beginning of the season and not at the end of the season. And he claims because you've got the Heisman going on the same day, you now have 2 bowl games, which, by the way, no disrespect to those bowl games. Army-Navy was the highest viewership the game's ever had this year. I think this is honestly a bad idea. Look, I think Joel Klatt does a great job, but I think this is a disrespectful idea. I think this takes away from the lure of Army-Navy. They have their own week. We all know it's Army-Navy week. If you put it at the beginning of the season, I think fans would only care about their team, their team's future. They wouldn't care as much about Army-Navy because we'd be worried about, hey, what's going to happen between LSU and Clemson? What's going to happen between, you know, who's Ohio State open up with? They got a big one.
2 high safeties. Ohio State, Texas.
Ohio State, Texas. That's what they're worried about. Army-Navy's great because, one, that needs to be a cold weather football game.
Yes.
And we all care about it so much because of a lot of reasons, because it's like the nation's game, but also because like it has its standalone. So after the dust is settled on your team,
yes,
we all turn our attention to Army-Navy that weekend. This is a bad idea. EJ and I got into it yesterday because he's like, no, I agree. I was like, well, that's dumb. It's not.
Army-Navy is the methadone to college football's heroin. So when you have a heroin addict and you're trying to kick it, a lot of times how you manage through the come-down process is they start taking methadone. So like Jake said, the dust is settled. You've been mainlining college football for 11, 12 weeks straight. And all of a sudden you get to a Saturday and you're kind of scratching your neck like, wait, where's the games today?
Yeah.
And then there's Army-Navy. And it's perfect. And also, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. Army-Navy with hot weather feels like drinking a glass of milk in June in Louisiana when it's been sitting outside for 30 minutes. It's just a god-awful idea that kind of is an affront to humanity.
It's like Ron Burgundy with the milk.
It needs to be cold.
Yeah.
It needs to be cold when Army and Navy play. Like, it's so obvious. And also, how does Class A it's getting squeezed? Like you said, it just put up its biggest ratings ever.
Yeah, and the Heisman ceremony,
nobody
I'll
wants
be
it.
honest with you.
Come on.
Like, I'm a Heisman voter, and I am very thankful and proud of that. But they draw that thing out as long as possible, that Heisman show.
Yeah, you don't watch. You just sit there and you're like, who won? On Twitter later. Oh, okay, look at that.
Right. Yeah.
Shout out.
And I think the Celebration Bowl was that day, and Jackson State won it. Shout out to Jackson State. And there was another bowl game after that. That's great. It was a different time slot, but I'm not like he acted like those two games took away from Army-Navy.
I need my fix.
It was, okay, I got it right here. It was Jackson State, South Carolina State in the Celebration Bowl. Shout out Jackson State. They won 28-7. And then it was South Alabama over Western Michigan in the Salute to Veterans Bowl. Did anybody tune into those?
No.
How funny would it be, though, if Army-Navy
watched Army-Navy with a couple of naval vets, and it was fascinating and awesome.
It'd be funny, though, if Army-Navy's ratings went down because people were watching the Salute to Service Bowl. I just think that would be ironically funny.
That would be.
Well, it's at different times.
No, it's a god-awful take by Clapton.
Yeah.
God-awful.
Yeah.
All right, so big deal.
Who's up next?
Big deal that it's a dumb take,
right.
but no big deal about the situation because it's not going to happen.
No.
Yeah, it's stupid. I guess I'll go next. Big deal or no big deal? Making a GoFundMe, asking your followers to send you to a Eagles game as a Green Bay Packers fan, knowing how hostile that environment is, taking your fiance, letting this guy berate her on camera, posting it later, getting the guy fired from his job. Big deal or no big deal?
So I think we're doing. I think both are douchebags.
So that's my thing. Like, you know that Reddit, that subreddit, Am I the A-hole or whatever?
Yes.
Everybody is the A-hole in this.
Yes.
Like, I think that the guy that, so I guess I should give more context. Like, over the weekend, an Eagles fan was being very aggressive to a Green Bay Packers fan. The guy recorded it.
He's calling this woman a dumb C-U-N-T to her face repeatedly.
Yeah. Can we spell it like that?
I think you just need to say see you next Tuesday.
Okay, I mean, is that any better?
No,
You
I
just
think
said the
you-
exact same thing.
Dude, I think you're
No.
good. I don't think I don't think like a radio spell check. I think you're
next
good.
Tuesday is
I
the
think you're good.
exact same amount of
Yeah.
syllables.
I think you're good.
Actually, no, it's one different
You
syllable.
spelled it out, though.
T-Bob
and then
Abrams.
you're not
So did
spelling it
y'all.
out.
No,
you
didn't.
didn't. We said
we said
see
we
you
see you
next
next Tuesday.
We said a
If y'all
sentence.
really think that somehow
I'm actually
just
I'm the opposite. I think like if you really think that's the same
a
thing.
little bit of y'all, just a slight injection of euphemism changes anything you just said. That's
Yes.
insanity.
Yeah.
Complete
We said a
insanity.
sentence. You
I
spelled out a
actually-
word.
I'm not
But
really
anyway-
different with T-Bob. I'm with you on this one because anybody in the car that doesn't know what see you next Tuesday means is not really going to put together the spelling anyways. You know what I mean? Like if
They
it's a
should be
young
in
kid or
Taylor
whatever,
agrees
you're
with you.
good.
First and foremost.
You're good, dude.
I didn't say he was in trouble. I just said
anyways,
So if the spelling is that offensive, hello, you can't yell it at a woman at the game.
We're getting off track. We're getting off track here. Big deal or no big deal? T-Bob's spelling.
Yeah, exactly.
No big deal.
Exactly.
Big
No
deal.
No big
Huge
deal.
deal.
Huge.
But so then comes out later that the Packers fan, was soliciting money online for his subscribers to send him to the game. And he's like, I've been to these games and everybody's super rude to me. Me personally, I would. Ryan Caldwell, the guy who was the Eagles fan that was on camera saying this, put out a statement actually recently. And he said, quote, "The video clip circulating online does not reflect the full context of what transpired, and my actions were not without provocation. I will live with this experience, and I am certainly paying a personal price," Caldwell stated. "For those who don't know me, this incident does not reflect my values or the respect I have for others, and is not indicative of the person I am." And I get that this guy is just trying to cover his ass, but you can't, like, I think it's
You should
so
have been
wrong.
wearing that skirt, huh, Landra? Is that what you're saying? No,
I think it's wrong. I think it's wrong that you went into this game looking for content.
You think they entrapped this man?
I think that the guy went looking for content, got his content, put it on the internet, and started a witch hunt for Ryan Caldwell. Yes.
Look, I think
we've all said stupid stuff in our lives before, and I don't think that any of us deserve to get fired from our job for it.
I think that sure, the content creator's a douche, whatever. But this man knew he was being filmed.
I don't think he knew he was being filmed.
The guy's holding a
It's on his body, and he's wearing like a jacket.
Okay. He knew he was in public,
Yeah.
and he is in this woman's face,
Yes.
yelling at her multiple times.
Yes.
You can't do that.
I agree with you.
You can't do that.
I agree.
If you suffer real life consequences from that, that's on you.
Okay.
Full stop.
Yeah.
Is the content creator douchebag? Sure.
Yeah.
Everybody is involved. But I completely understand why this dude's getting in trouble.
I get why he's getting in trouble. I just think it's so stupid.
Very based. I agree. Very based, Chad.
If I ever get in trouble and write a letter, I'm going to get you guys to check it. And if I ever put in there, this situation is not a reflection of me, just tell me to take that out. Everybody puts that in there. Like, dude, you did something wrong. You got in trouble and move on. Don't be like, well, this isn't me. Well, it kind of is. I mean, you kind of.
Well, I don't think so. I think
believes
30
that,
seconds, but I think 30 seconds or minute, whatever, how long that video is, I truly don't think that you can get a good understanding of who's. I think the guy is wrong for calling that girl that stuff, and I think it is wrong that it's messed up. I probably would have been super upset if I was the girl. But it's also messed up to get this man fired from his job.
Should have been fired.
Dox him on the internet and everything.
Should have been fired.
I don't think that.
Can we never say you guys again and just say y'all? That was.
I like you guys.
What do you mean?
Did I say you guys?
No, Taylor
I did.
said
What do
you
you mean?
guys instead of y'all. I felt very Yankee of you.
I just.
Okay.
The thing is.
I didn't catch it.
I'm not victim
I didn't
blaming.
catch it.
I actually said that I don't think that the guy should have called this girl that.
The thing is,
I think two things could be true at the same time.
I'm not making any sweeping proclamations about this guy's life or character.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's a family. Maybe he's a pleasure to be with at work.
I
But
know what you're
again,
talking
when
about.
you do actions, sometimes there are consequences.
Yes.
And yelling at a grown adult woman, the most offensive thing you can think of constantly and repeatedly because of an NFL football game, is crazy behavior.
Yeah. Well, I've been called some pretty crazy things before, and I've never put it on the internet and asked for somebody to be fired for it.
Sitting in a crowd's
Well,
always.
so I guess that's
funny
the
to
thing.
me.
Like, putting it on the internet's wrong. Did they ask for the person to be fired? I don't know that much about the story. Like, I'm
I don't
genuinely
either.
asking. I saw the video, but I don't know anything else after that.
Also, I mean, oh boy, you can't let your wife get yelled at like that.
Yeah, switch spots with her or
Yeah,
something. Like,
no,
I'm not saying.
you
What are
can't
we
get tried in
doing?
front of your wife.
I just think everybody sucks in this.
What
situation.
are we
There's so
doing,
many people
dude?
that are saying, "Oh, dude, I'd have thrown hands." I get it. He's around 100 Eagles fans. If nothing else, just switch spots with her. Put yourself in between him and her. Like, that's all you got to do.
Taylor, your next big deal or no big deal. You were very shocked by this move, but Jake has an understanding of it.
Oh yeah, okay. Big deal or no big deal? Deontay Johnson re-signed by the Ravens. So it's funny. We were just talking about this, and we were like, nobody's going to give this guy a shot. Like, he doesn't.
Explain what he did real quick from yesterday, just in case somebody missed the story of the
About
day.
a month ago, he got released from the Ravens because Rashad Bateman got hurt in the game. They asked Deontay Johnson to go in, and he was upset with his playing time up until that point, so he refused to go into the game. And then Monday, he was cut by the Texans, and a little bit the same thing. He didn't refuse to go into the game, but he threw a fit in the locker room because he wasn't playing enough, so they cut him as well.
After a playoff win.
After a playoff win.
And when he caught a pass,
yes.
and played 12 plays, made, what, 40K bonus? Something like that, probably?
45, yeah.
45?
And so he threw the fit in the locker room, and now he is re-signed by the Ravens. But before we answer big deal or no big deal, Jake did some research on this.
Yeah, so it's actually a masterclass by the Ravens, and so they actually claim him off waivers. They're not going to play him, but if he does sign somewhere else in the offseason, and look, he's a talented player. Like, there's some stuff going on, but he'll get signed. The Ravens actually will get a comp pick from losing him in free agency.
There you go.
So they made the move.
He's never actually going to be a part of the team. They have no plans on making him a part of the team. They are literally using the man who wronged them in some
That's awesome.
next level market manipulation here.
Yeah, and sure, he'll make a couple, he'll make some $40,000 checks maybe because he's on the team, but he ain't going to play. He's not going to dress. He's not going to travel. He can't go to a contender and try to win a Super Bowl somewhere else, and they're going to get a comp pick.
Yeah, it says too. Wait, I found the number of comp picks that the Ravens have gotten. The Ravens have been the NFL's best team in accumulating compensatory picks, earning a league high 56 of them since the system began in 1994. They picked up Kyle Juszczyk in this way, Sam Koch, Isaiah Likely.
That Juszczyk started there, yeah.
Isaiah Likely was
baller.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was picked up in this way. So really heady play by Harbaugh and the Ravens. I'm going to say big deal because how impressed I am with it. It's petty and heady. You're getting like some sort of petty level of revenge, but you're also very strategically helping yourself gain resources and assets as well. Now, it is crazy that there's so much money in the NFL that the price of that is like, we'll pay this guy a few $40,000 checks not to do anything. But hey, cost of doing business, I suppose.
Yeah, look, any NFL team would pay for a draft pick.
Yes.
Well, let's
true.
the Saints, they just like to give them away, but
No. Mickey does not. He'd love more draft picks. Taylor played us the audio.
that's true. He did say that. Although, since he's taken over, they've had the least amount of draft choices in the NFL of any franchise, and by a wide margin, but he does love draft choices. He'd love more of them if he could.
He's traded up on an average of more than once a year, and he's never once traded back. Unbelievable. All right. Coming up next. Well, real quick, do want to remind you about K to Z window coverings. KTOZblinds.com is the website. You want window coverings at WOW? Call 225-791-1220. 791-1220. Take advantage of our complimentary installation. And remember, with over 25 years in the window treatments industry, Brandon Barton has a level of expertise that is going to floor you. Window you? When he walks into your home. Within
floor
10 to
to
15
ceiling
minutes.
window you?
Yes, floor to ceiling to floor you. And when he walks into your home within 15 minutes, you're going to know exactly how the sunlight interacts with your home at every single portion of the day, what you can do functionally, what you can do aesthetically to bring your home to the next level. And nothing ties together a home like the correct blinds, windows, shades, shutters, drapery, all of it. So have Brandon Barton out today. Maybe you get some drop-down exterior shading for like an outdoor kitchen, something like Jake has, where you just hit a button and it drops down. Maybe it's some new shutters. Whatever the case may be, get all your options. Take advantage of the excellent customer service. Take advantage of Brandon Barton's incredible decades of experience. Go to KTOZblinds.com today. Got some munchies coming up next.
Off the bench.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Welcome back to the 9th-ranked morning sports show in America. Off the bench.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. And right now, it is my pleasure for my favorite segment every single week, and that is our segment with Chef Michael Johnson as he answers all of your culinary queries. Just get your questions in the Bodyboard YouTube chat with the hashtag Munchies. Let's do it.
Get ready to tantalize your taste buds and leave this segment hungry. This is Munchies with executive chef Michael Johnson. Let's eat.
Chef, what's going on, man? How are we doing here on this Thursday?
Morning, T-Bob. How are you, buddy?
Doing great. Doing great. Excited for a little NFL this weekend. College football natty around the corner. What about you?
Yeah, I'm watering my plants.
Oh, really? Alondra, you're a big plant fan. Do you have any plant-based questions for Chef?
Not that I can think of off the top. Oh, I don't do any like veggie or fruit growing or anything like that. So if you got any veggie growing hacks, I'm open to them. I do mostly indoor house plants.
Yeah, well, for gardening outdoor, like we're approaching the time where, it's so much cheaper to actually sprout your own seeds and grow from seed than it is to buy plants and put them in the ground. And so if you are into propagation,
Yes, I love propagating plants. It's literally like my favorite thing to do.
Hey now.
It is now upon the time to get seeds in the soil to start your propagation. So, in a couple of months that you have some 2-month-old plants that are ready to go into the soil when the soil warms up. So, you got to follow the farmer's almanac and get your seeds in the soil at the right time of year.
Hell yeah.
Hashtag Munchies. Best place in Baton Rouge to buy veal for piccata. I don't love chicken unless fried, and veal is hard to find in grocery stores. Or is there an alternative meat that would be good?
So when I buy veal, it's usually Provimi. I don't really go out and buy veal for myself too often. I know that there's some places in New Orleans to get it. In Baton Rouge, I'm not really sure. But I think if you go to Provimi, Provimi, they may have like places where they tell you they sell their veal. I'm not sure who else sells it, but I mean, you can buy anything online now. You know what I mean? Like get it shipped.
Do you have a good alternative meat selection for piccata?
Chicken piccata, tenderize you can take a chicken tenderloin and tenderize it down flat. And chicken piccata is, especially when you use the tenderloin, the breast meat doesn't equate necessarily, but if you get the tenderloin from the chicken, it stays nice and tender, and it goes very well. You can also use a pork tenderloin, not the boneless loin, but get the tenderloin and do the same thing. Pound it out so that it's flat and similar thickness throughout. And I've done it with pork before, pork tenderloin.
Okay, let's pound that pork, baby. Easy
Hashtag Munchies. What's your thoughts on the carnivore diet? Healthy or not?
Look, I think one, it depends on your age, right? Like, I'm 48 years old. I'm not going, full on carnivore. I'm an omnivore.
Man.
Veggies in your diet are important, and I know that I don't know enough about carnivore diet to know the nuts and bolts of it. I do know that as you age, you need less protein in your diet, and you need more fiber and nutrient. And so I through my fasting, I found that I could supplement mostly what my body was asking for through legumes and stuff like that. But I'm never going to get away from salmon or steelhead trout or fish for that matter, or shrimp or red meat or pork. So, I don't know. The carnivore diet makes sense if you're on a muscle gain program and you're young enough and you're still building large amounts of muscle mass. But if you're trying to maintain a healthy diet, I think by and large, fruits and vegetables are super important in your diet.
Okay, this is news. So I'm in my Mike Gundy year this year, to tell you my age, and for me, everything has to have protein. I mean, I drink Proffies in the morning because I put protein into my coffees, not milk. I put cottage cheese into my eggs just to find another way to get some more protein. I eat steak with them as well. I need to not at all. So So you're saying I need to add a little bit of some. Hey, meathead, eat some veggies as well.
Absolutely, brother. I mean, everybody needs veggies in their diet. The fiber that comes through with it is super important for your gastrointestinal tract, right? And like if all you eat is protein, there's a likelihood that there is the ability for what I call muck, to be left over in your gastrointestinal tract. And that sticks to the walls of your intestines, right? And if you don't have fiber to push that out, your intestines stop absorbing nutrient as efficiently. And then your body starts telling you need to eat more and more because you're not absorbing. Your body tells you when to stop because that's when your absorption has met its need.
Yeah.
And if it's not, your body's constantly telling you, eat more. And if you continue to build that kind of plaque or muck up on the inside of your intestinal walls, it'll get thicker and thicker, and you'll eat more and more, and that's where obesity lives, right? Like as in a general rule of sense, that's that's a very good way to gain weight.
Well, yeah, Jake, you're heading down the Elvis path. Okay, be careful.
You're gonna have a 95.
You're gonna die with 87 pounds of ground beef inside.
Tread lightly, you two fellas. We don't have Elvis slander here. When you have a son named Memphis,
I'm just saying, dude,
you don't
that's what
slander
happened to
Elvis in
Elvis.
front of him.
It's
Okay,
literally what happened to Elvis.
I think our bodies look a little different than when Elvis passed
I
away.
agree. I just don't want to see you die with a meat child inside of you.
I mean,
That's all we're saying.
look, if there's a way to go for a meathead, that might not be the worst one.
True. Actually true. Hashtag munchies. Why did no one tell me that one of the hardest things about being an adult is to figure out what to cook each week?
Oh yeah.
Do you have any tips for the young adult male who is, or female, this is a young adult who is now out there cooking for themselves?
I have children, and they don't have any problem telling me what to cook. So there's my advice: go have kids. Yeah. I mean, variety. You know what I mean? Like, don't get caught in food jag where you're eating the same thing every day, and be open to eating new stuff. You know, like go out and try Thai, go out and try Vietnamese, go out and try stuff that you haven't had before. Curry. You know, like I love food, and I'll eat just about anything. You know, matter of fact, Jake, you'd be proud of me. I ate some trail mix the other day that was coconut.
Thank you.
And it was toasted coconut, but it was coated in chocolate. And
Coconut's incredible.
I ate it. Oh yeah, I mean, I was eating it. It was good. I was like, man, I cannot believe it was big, thick shavings instead of that like little hairy,
Okay, relax. Relax. Coconut's good, even when it's a little hairy. Coconut's very good.
That texture just gets me, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's gritty.
Hashtag, it actually is kind of literally gritty.
It's gritty.
Okay, fair. Hashtag munchies. Are you going to cook anything for the snow next week? Maybe we got a 50-50 chance of snow next Tuesday. My kids are desperately hoping it comes to pass. Are you going to do anything special culinarily on the day?
One thing I really love on a really cold day is a pot of chili.
So good.
Yeah. But
So
I do have a little Yankee in me, and you know that every once in a while I will go out on the grill and in the freezing cold. Now, if it's down in the 20s, no, but if it's in the 30s, I'll go out and get on the barbecue pit and be a man.
Really?
And yeah, absolutely.
Just cause? Like a middle finger to the weather gods?
Yeah, that's it, brother. Like I can do this, man. Yeah. Yeah.
Hashtag munchies. Any tips for making king cake from scratch?
I don't do it.
You're not a baker, right?
Yeah,
I know that's
either.
not your thing.
I'm not a baker, and I'm not ever going to be a baker. I do know a lot of people that will take and make like a cinnamon roll dough, and roll that up. But I'm not a baker, and I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly comfortable in who I am.
Hashtag munchies. Favorite Super Bowl appetizer?
We get this question year to year, and I feel like I've changed it a couple of years. But I always kind of go back to wings. Like when you say Super Bowl, I immediately go to wings and lots of dipping sauces.
Yeah, dude, ranch and blue cheese.
We talk about beanie weenies, and I'm okay without those. I will eat beanie weenies, but I like wings, man. And enough of them that I can have cold wings at 4:00 in the morning or the next morning for breakfast. Yeah.
Hashtag munchies. Is blackened seasoning easy to do it yourself, or is it easier to just buy a pre-made?
No, it's easy to make. It's got a lot of paprika, a little cayenne, some garlic, some onion. I mean, as long as you have the paprika in there, that's realistically what's making the blackening black, right? Your spices are burning in essence. The interesting thing is what do they taste like when they burn, right? And the paprika, it kind of bitters a little bit, but it also develops some character while it's burning. So yeah, it's super easy to make. I think one of the important things about making a blackening seasoning is, you want to use the similar grain in the entire seasoning. Like you don't want to put kosher salt in or a thick ground kosher salt when you have super fine powder.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Because
interesting.
they don't stick the same, right? Or you salt first and then put your blackening on. or you'll salt after you blacken and sear. Because they don't necessarily stick the same. Or if you get a granule of kosher salt stuck to the meat, and then during the blackening process it falls off, you're going to have little specks of blacken, like here and there, and emptiness there and there. So, like if you're using powders, use powders. If you're using granular, use granular. So you want to use the same kind of grind throughout.
Chef, I want to ask you about Greek yogurt, okay? Because everywhere that I go, everywhere that I see, dietitians, nutrition, they're talking about what this can do for you with the benefits of like a Greek yogurt. And look, there's some out there that probably have a lot of sugar, but I'm talking about like just a natural kind of Greek yogurt and what it can do for your gut health. Like, what do y'all do with Greek yogurt over, at the nutrition center?
Yogurt's one of those things, Jake, that can be very confusing. It's not just you. I think most people, by and large, are confused by yogurt. One thing you want to look at in yogurt, Greek or otherwise, is how many bacteria strains it has in it.
Okay.
The more bacteria strains in it, is my understanding, the more bacteria strains that are in it, the better the flora is in your gut.
Right.
And, that's what's really healthy for you. You can look at the fat, you can look at the sugar, all that stuff. But what's super important is the bacteria strains that are in there. And a good one will have 5, a great one will have 7.
Okay. All
So
right.
I should just rub dirt in my yogurt. Just really bacteria it up. Just the more the better. Just not wash my hands and just dip my hand all up in the yogurt, eat it with my hand maybe.
That feels like something you would do, actually.
Yeah,
no spoon.
I'm you, yes, go ahead and try that. I want to see how that turns out. Yeah, yeah. Let us know.
God, this yogurt smells awful. Trust me, it's healthy, guys. Okay, just shut up and eat it. Hashtag munchies. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I was talking to one of my old athletes yesterday about sourdough because sourdough is kind of equatable in some degree.
Right. I love it.
It's a yeast building, slow rising, kind of wild dough, if you will. And the fermentation happens from the yeast that's in the air. And if you have good yeast in there, that's great. You have to be careful of it. So, I always suggest going to a baker and seeing if you can get a mother from a baker, because they have an established, super charismatic mother that is going to start your dough off right. Because, with beer, for instance, and bread is very similar. If you get the wrong bacteria in there and the wrong bacteria grows, it's going to spoil and it's going to taste sour. And yogurt's the same way. If you get bad bacteria in yogurt, man, you got something really bad. So, I don't know. It's all kind of the same lines. Like, you want to control in bread, if you can get a mother, control that. But in yogurt, they're controlling that. And so the bacteria is super important.
I love describing the starter as a charismatic mother. That is absolutely fantastic. Just a great charismatic. Got a je ne sais quoi. You're just attracted to her. Okay, last one here. Hashtag munchies. Can I substitute butter for oil when making a roux for gumbo?
You can. Yeah, you just got to be careful of the temperature because butter does have milk solids in it and it will burn. But I love a butter. I love a butter roux. It's a little less tolerant of high heat, so you have to cook it a little slower, a little bit easier. But oil, if it has a high smoke point, you can turn it up a little higher. And if you're stirring, as long as you're stirring it, it's not going to burn. Butter is just a little bit more temperamental. That's all.
Would you bake a butter roux?
Probably not. No.
By the way, guys, baking your roux is the easiest, best thing in the world.
Yeah, I'm going to stand on top of a butter roux because those solids will settle with the flour, and if they get to the bottom, they'll burn as well. And so with the butter roux, you're having to turn it constantly.
There you go. Chef Michael Johnson, all your culinary queries answered each and every week here on Munchies. He just comes and hangs out with us every week because he's the man. We love you, Chef. You have an excellent weekend, my friend.
Take care, guys.
Thanks, Chef.
Go eat some dirty-ass yogurt. Get healthy.
Do you not like yogurt?
I love yogurt.
Me too.
I use yogurt as a substitute for sour cream too.
Yeah.
Actually, like on enchiladas and stuff.
They got a light sour cream that's not too bad, but I go cottage cheese a lot of times and substitute for I love cottage cheese.
I was trying to convince my wife that a lot of men actually like cellulite the other day, and she did not believe me. But
I hadn't heard that called that in a very long time.
I don't know why it just popped into my head.
Yeah.
Cottage cheese is really good, though. I do need to try it in my eggs more. I never think about that. I never remember it at the time of egg making.
Yeah. I knew maybe my protein love went a step too far when I was eating eggs with cottage cheese in them during Meathead Radio, and Bobby judged me for too much protein.
Why? He's not into the cottage cheese and the eggs? Why not?
No, he's like, man, that is the most meathead thing I've ever heard. I was like, yeah, that's kind of the deal. I'm authentic here in my meatheadness.
Actually, I know a bunch of people, and this is very good, who throw sour cream in their eggs. Could you throw Greek yogurt in there?
Chef put sour cream in his eggs. We talked
that's what
about
I'm saying.
that.
Could you throw, if I use
I bet you
Greek yogurt,
could.
I use sour cream?
Yeah, I wouldn't use like a flavor. I'd use plain.
Yeah, no, that's all I have is plain.
Yeah, I bet it'd be good.
All right, when we get back, more OTB. Keep it locked.
Off the bench.
Go to centralplumbing.org, 925-8552, centralplumbing.org. Again, that number, 925-8552. We have a massive fleet that is ready to go with 24/7 emergency service, flat rate pricing, licensed, bonded, and insured employees, and a great warranty once the work is done. So any plumbing problem that you could have, you got an old house, new house, it does not matter. We've been at it for 5 decades, y'all. How do you stand the test of time? How do you grow? How do you have so much success? Because your customers are consistently satisfied with every single step of the process. That's Central Plumbing. But it doesn't have to be just repairs. If you want a bathroom remodel, it's a great gift idea. Build the bathroom of your dreams, your wife's dreams, your husband's dreams, whatever the case may be. Maybe you want to get like a tankless water heater. It's all there for you at centralplumbing.org.
It certainly is, and you can find it right there on the homepage. Just click on the remodel tab or the tankless water heater tab. But always remember, 365 weekend, holiday, game day does not matter. If you have an emergency, 225-925-8552.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps are held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
At Atmos Energy, our smart choice solutions help customers save energy and emissions with rebates up to $500 off high-efficiency natural gas appliances.
Welcome back to the 9th-ranked morning sports show in America. Off the bench.
What up, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. It is time for a Tay-Tay NFL story of the day.
It's time for Tay-Tay's NFL story of the day. Your daily dose of NFL news from Taylor Sharp.
So,
Tay-Tay, what do you got, man?
Alondra actually put me on this one because she sent us a link in the doc yesterday. So I want to do a little bit of digging. Look, I know we've been complaining a lot about Mickey Loomis and, who the heck would want this Saints job? T-Bob, if, I don't know, let's throw out a name. Jimmy Graham. If Mickey Loomis said he wanted Jimmy Graham to be the next head coach, what would your thought be? Probably not good, right?
Yeah, no.
Well, one of the reasons Mike McCarthy finally got up and left the table with Jerry Jones was because in his contract, this has been reported by multiple people, that McCarthy wanted more years on the contract.
Yeah,
Jerry wanted to give him a shorter length and ultimately make Jason Witten the heir apparent to Mike McCarthy in Dallas. So he was going to have him on the staff in some sort of role, give Mike McCarthy another 2 to 3 years. And then it kind of sounded like, regardless of production by Mike McCarthy, he was going to turn things over to Jason Witten. Now, Witten has never coached in any capacity in college or NFL level, but
I was about to say, I think
he's the head coach at Liberty Christian out in Texas, back-to-back state champs. What did he win in 2023? The Whataburger Coach of the Year presented by the Dallas Cowboys. So that's it. Jerry doesn't want Dion. He doesn't want McCarthy. Jerry Jones wants Jason Witten.
So,
well, his odds are pretty
Jason
good on that
is high-
list I sent.
Yeah.
No, that's what he's up there.
Jason's
also
highly respected in the Cowboys organization.
I was
he's
gonna
a
say,
top
like,
5
he's
player
obviously
in
a
franchise
Cowboys.
history.
Yes, he's obviously a Cowboys legend, and but like, I'd be careful. The 2-time high school state national championships, I think, actually do a lot for me.
Oh, it's Texas high school
Yes,
football.
state champion.
Yeah. Like, and yeah.
Like that makes me believe there's a bit more. Yeah, it had done on college, the NFL level, and it is crazy to jump all the way up the NFL. But he knows the NFL.
Doug Peterson's only head coaching job before he got the job at Philly was Calvary Baptist in Shreveport.
Yeah, he was great there because he went from Calvary to like college assistants, correct? And then he went to Philly.
He went to Kansas City as like
okay, that's right.
Quarterback quality control kind of guy. Yeah.
When you started the story, I thought it was bad because I thought Jason Witten had never coached anything, and that just was a step too far. But
back-to-back state champs in
high school
Texas.
state
that
championships.
was going to be a Jeff Saturday situation.
Yeah, and like Saturday did okay.
Actually did pretty
Right?
well.
Like
yeah.
he did it. It wasn't a disaster, and he had zero coaching experience. So like, yes, these are longtime NFL guys that understand the league through and through. So maybe so. I don't hate it.
I mean, in Texas, that's a big deal, winning back-to-back state high school championships.
No, I mean, that's what I'm saying. You definitely have good coaching acumen.
Yeah. Robert Saleh is another one that they just came up, I think, yesterday. They're interested in him.
I don't want Robert Saleh. Look, this may not be Saleh's fault. We know how big of a disaster Woody Johnson is. We talked about that story with the Madden ratings.
Yeah.
I've only seen Robert Saleh be a head coach in one spot, and it didn't work well. He's going to have to prove to me that he can be a head coach before I want my team hiring him. I mean, it just is what it is.
Saleh is not one of those head coaches that gets fired and then gets hired immediately because his resume is so strong. Like,
that's what I'm
he
saying.
has to go back to the coordinator route, pay his penance,
yeah.
and maybe he gets another chance down the road.
I personally don't know how I would feel about Jason Witten. He might be my favorite Dallas Cowboy of all time.
No
I would
surprise
not
there.
want him as my head coach right now.
Who is your number one choice? We're going to break.
Ooh. How realistic do I have to be?
No, just choose.
Mike Tomlin.
Okay.
There's a lot of there's a lot of talk.
You should trade your car for a car then? I mean, that's like
Aaron Glenn.
Aaron
Aaron Glenn's a stable hire. He's not too big of a personality where he would clash with Jerry Jones. I would go Aaron Glenn.
When we get back, wrap it up. OTB, a little Ask the Bench. Keep it locked.
Off the bench.
Get Gordon and get it done. 225-888-8888. Gordon McCurdy, Andrew Attorney's there for you when you need them. And when you need them is, well, when you're in a tough spot. Okay, you get in an accident, you're doing battle with the insurance companies. They have a ton more resources from which to pull. It's going to be very hard to get what you deserve unless you get Gordon and you get it done. You call 225-888-8888 and they fight for you. You can also go to getgordon.com, fill out a consult form right there on the website. They get in touch with you immediately. You can see the cases they handle. Am I qualified or not? You can just call them 888 or you go to the website. You can see past results and you can get the ball rolling. Also, make sure to follow them on social media at Get Gordon, where you learn a lot about just general life advice, business advice, a lot of content with your favorite athletes from the G team. Get Gordon, get it done.
Yeah, go to the website today, and you can have a chat right there with them on the site. But we always encourage you to see what they're doing on social media at Get Gordon. And always, you can pick up the phone, your area code in Louisiana, followed by 888-8888. Get Gordon and get it done.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing.
Welcome back to the 9th-ranked morning sports show in America. Off the bench.
Welcome back to OTB. It's time for a little Ask the Bench, brought about Cold Curse Light, Vizio Tilter, and Blue Moon Light Sky, Citrus Sweet. Alondra, what do you got the fight Saturday night?
I think give me Kevin Holland, give me Benil, give me Jiri. Give me, these next ones are kind of hard.
Hey now.
But I'm going to go Umar.
Oh,
and then I can't bet against Islam Makhachev, but if anybody's going to take him down, it's going to be Arman Sarukian.
These names sound like They're all from
Dagestan?
Yeah, like kind of like
Well, Sarukian's Georgian,
Eastern Europe,
so-
West Asian. I don't actually know where Georgia is, unfortunately. I'm
That's
guessing Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ask the bench. Did y'all see the Jazz Fest lineup for this year? Are
Yes.
you going to go? I did not. What are we looking at
Pearl
here? Let me check
Jam.
this out.
Pearl Jam is the second weekend. Lenny Kravitz is going to be there. Santana's going to be there. Luke Combs, Casey Musgraves. It's a great lineup.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Just yesterday, we learned what Pearl Jam's a euphemism for. Is that true,
I don't know
though?
if that's true. I don't know. Ask your son.
My
Your
robot
robot
son.
son.
Lil Wayne and the Roots?
Yes, Lil Wayne's the other one that I was going to say.
I love the Roots.
Santana?
Okay.
Cheap Trick?
Oh, I hadn't thought about Cheap Trick in a
Joan
long
Jett,
time.
Harry Connick Jr., Patti LaBelle, Trombone Shorty. That'd be really good.
I only thought about Cheap Trick last weekend because randomly at the Bucks Commanders game, they're like, lead singer of Cheap Trick singing the national anthem. I'm like, haven't heard that name in years.
All right.
We got Julie and Marley coming with the Wailers. Bob's son. I'm guessing the canon will be at that. Hashtag Ask the Bench. Is Jazz Fest worth it? I've never been. It can be tough. It's one of those deals. It's kind of like
You gotta
Mardi
know
Gras.
the-
It's probably worth going at least once, no matter what. But to go again, you gotta try to find a good setup, like some sort of pass or something. Because I mean, otherwise, it could get like when Elton John played that one year. You had people literally nearly dying in the heat. There were so many people like fighting over one another, trying to get falling out, not able to get out because there were too many. It can get a little crazy. It's like how Mardi Gras, ideally, you want to try to weasel your way into a place with a bathroom. Kind of similar in my mind.
Yeah.
But the one time I did go, it was awesome.
Yeah, I saw Foo Fighters there last year, and it was. I mean, I'm gonna have to go see Pearl Jam, but if it wasn't anybody else, I wouldn't go.
Asked the bench to the abysmal ratings of the college football playoff, 12-team playoff so far. Should I have ham or turkey for lunch? Turkey.
Turkey.
Better protein.
Less fat, but ham, God, it's tasty.
Yeah. In my older ages, sometimes ham can be a bit much, taste-wise. I know. It shocked me as well. So I was always a
white answer.
I was always a ham 100% of the time answer. Growing up. Like just yesterday, though, I ate 2 sandwiches, 1 ham, 1 turkey, and I was like, I like the turkey one better today.
How many sandwiches?
2 sandwiches.
I thought you said 2.
10.
Like a piece.
Damn,
you eat 4 sandwiches.
Yeah, I ate 4 sandwiches. I was hungry. I just got back from work. All right, guys. We love you. Friday coming up tomorrow. Let's freaking go, dude. More OTB.
Off the bench.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the